This is a live presentation of the Ticats Audio Network. Are you ready? Ticats football is on the air.
Touchdown, Tiger Cats! Caught it! It's a touchdown!
Number 17, Luke Tasker, what a catch!
Now the voice of the Tiger Cats. Here is RJ Broadhead with analyst Luke Tasker.
Good evening. Welcome to the Ticats Audio Network. It is the regular season, Game 1 in Winnipeg. What a matchup. What a test for both teams. The Hamilton Tiger Cats, a lot of people have expectations for them. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, 3 straight years to the Grey Cup. They're returning a ton of players. They expect to be back there. So you've got two really good teams going head-to-head week 1 of the season, and week 1 is a tough one to do any advanced scouting, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, it sure is. There's not much to learn. There's not much to know about yet. You didn't get any really valuable film in the 2 preseason games that the CFL have, but you are facing a Winnipeg Blue Bomber team that is building on years of success together. You do, in a sense, know what you're going to get there, and they're well coached. They've executed greatly over a stretch of 3 seasons, and Zach Calero says he takes the field right now, wearing number 8, is, of course, leading that Blue Bomber team.
2 active winningest quarterbacks going head-to-head. Of course, Bo Levi Mitchell, 90 wins in his career, 10 away from 100. He'd be the 10th quarterback all-time in the CFL to get to that number, and it's expected the Tiger Cats will get to double-digit victories. We'll have to see. On Ticats this week yesterday, Luke, I went out on a limb. I said it would be this matchup in week 1 and in the final week in Hamilton, which is the Grey Cup. I think the Tiger Cats and Blue Bombers are going to meet again in the championship this year. You didn't comment too much. Where did you think these 2 teams are going to end up?
No, I think that's a pretty decent prediction, honestly. You've got really you're welcome. No, really, you've got 2 on paper. These two teams are coming into the season looking really, really great. We got good matchups tonight, especially in the front lineups, both offensively and defense for these teams. You've got all-stars out there. You've got really impressive especially up front for Hamilton. You've got to be really pleased with that offensive line that's going, and that's sort of, an old school sort of recipe for success. If the big guys, if you have a solid offensive line, if you can get to the quarterback defensively, you're in a good position to make a run deep into the postseason.
Joel Figueroa, you heard in the pregame show with Bubba and Andy that he will be in the game. He was a game-time decision at left tackle, such an important spot on that blind side protection for Bo Levi Mitchell. The Tiger Cats will be wearing white tops, black pants, and Bo Levi Mitchell with the black numbered 19. And he looks good in the Tiger Cats black, white, and gold tonight.
He does look sharp, man. That's exciting to see that, isn't it?
It is. It's new for everyone. We saw it a little bit in the preseason, but this is the real thing. Game 1, and it doesn't get any tougher for a place to win than Winnipeg. In the last 3 seasons, the Bombers have lost 2 regular season games at IG Field. In 2019, against the Tiger Cats, I think you were injured for that one, but last year they lost in overtime against Montreal, and I remember everybody was quite surprised that they lost a game at home. So it is as tough as it gets for a road team, and the Tiger Cats started 0-7 on the road last season, 0-4 overall. They have to avoid a tough start like that, Luke.
Yeah, I was a part of a couple seasons out to a tough start, and surprisingly, some of them ended in a Grey Cup appearance. That can happen in the CFL, as we all know, but boy, it is hard. Your job gets a lot harder in October when you don't take care of business in June and July. And, we talked about it this week as well, you and I, RJ, in our broadcast leading up to the game here, that it is just an amazing opportunity. I mean, you really, with a win on a road in Winnipeg, and we're looking at this footage from the stadium, it's a lively atmosphere there. It is a great day for some summer football in Winnipeg, and that's a city that's sort of in love with their franchise right now, and it looks exciting, it looks energized, and if you steal a win away from them on the road, man, that is a great way to start the season.
It's a statement.
Yes, it is.
Sends shockwaves throughout the league, and all aspects of these two teams, offense, defense, and special teams, are all extremely good, and special teams, both teams have great returners, so that'll be a fun part of the game to watch too, or listen to.
Exactly. Yes, it will. All three phases will play a part tonight, almost undoubtedly.
So we're going to have the coin toss very shortly, and it is a beautiful evening in Winnipeg, about 23 degrees, wind out of the north gusting from 30 to about 43 kilometers per hour. Pretty exact.
Very good. RJ measured that.
Yes, but it will be a packed house, we know that. Wind always a factor in the prairies, we also know that. And Blue Bombers, game one against the Tiger Cats. Is there anyone on the Tiger Cats you're excited to see, whether it be a returning player or a new player?
Well, I kind of am focused, and you're going to be surprised at this answer, RJ, because you thought I was going to say somebody on offense, didn't you?
I did. You're an offensive guy.
No, I'm encouraged and excited by the defensive secondary for the Ticats. It's a little bit of a new slate of players, but they're athletic, and the preseason was exciting in the short time we saw them in the games, but through training camp, seems like we might have a really, really strong secondary to watch all season for the Ticats. And Tunde Adeleke, you know what I think about him as a player. He's sort of been a Ticat staple for the last handful of seasons, and I just expect, nothing but excitement and great plays from Tunde as well.
Tunde, Richard Leonard, two veterans there. Lawrence Woods, he looked great in the preseason. He'll return kicks as well. He's on that field corner. Kenneth George Jr., biggest, tallest player for the Tiger Cats on the boundary corner, and Javian Elliott, who's just a great story. Walk on basically everywhere, and made teams, whether it be college, NFL, almost 60 games in the NFL, and then he didn't play a lot because of injury with the Stampeders, but here he is. He's healthy with the Tiger Cats. We'll see what he can do, but tons of experience. Bo Levi Mitchell with the headband. You'd remember when you saw him with the Stampeders, and you can see it out the back of his black Tiger Cats helmet. Will we see him to start the game? It looks like the Tiger Cats will take the ball. And Lawrence Woods is back to return. We didn't see him in the preseason, Luke. We did see some pretty good returns from Leandre Gallimore. Will be on the practice roster, but Lawrence Woods is set to go now that the regular season is here, and that's exciting. Wore number 37 last year. He's wearing number 8 this year. Kicking off for the Blue Bombers, Sergio Castillo is back in Winnipeg. Blue Bombers in their blue tops, gold pants, blue socks, and again the Tiger Cats, white tops, black pants, black socks. Lawrence Woods gets it at his own 15. He's across the 25 to 30. Oh, he's got a big gap up the middle. What a start for the Tiger Cats. Across midfield, Lawrence Woods didn't need a preseason. He's in mid-season form.
What a great return. First drive as a Tiger Cat, and Bo Levi Mitchell has 54 yards to go to try to put points on the board. That's pretty spectacular. Jeff Reinbold, I wish we could see him close up right now because he has to be electrified. That was great blocking and great job of Lawrence Woods doing what he does and finding the hole.
Straight up the middle, special teams striking first for the Tiger Cats. 40-yard return for Lawrence Woods. Here's Bo Levi Mitchell. His first series as a Tiger Cat. It's a handoff to James Butler, his first run as a Tiger Cat, and he will get up to the Winnipeg 50, maybe just across the 50.
Adam Bighill, middle linebacker, number 4 for the Blue Bombers. Perennial all-star, just a great guy and a great player, and he's right there with his nose on the ball for the first play of this season. The Blue Bombers showing pressure right away. They loaded up the box for that first play.
4-yard gain for James Butler. It's a 2nd and 6 from the Winnipeg 50. Bo Levi Mitchell. 3 receivers to his left. That is the boundary side. Throws to his right over the middle and throws a strike to Duke Williams. All the new Tiger Cats getting involved. And Duke holds his hands over his head, indicating a first down. It is a first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Yeah, there's Bo Levi Mitchell to Duke Williams. That's a new connection there. And man, we're in that number 1. Duke Williams, that's a big body out there
yes.
in that secondary.
Great start for the Tiger Cats. A 1st and 10 now on the Winnipeg 37. All set up with a Lawrence Woods 40-yard return, and now the Tiger Cats are moving the ball. It's another handoff and a big run for James Butler, and he will be very close to the 20-yard line, and it is another first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
You got to be so excited about that. The Blue Bombers load up the box. To put it very simply, it's not a great defense to run into there. You've got tons of bodies, and that's James Butler pushing that ball ahead for another first down. And at the end of the play, Brandon Revenberg shoving people off the ball. It's physical and it's fast, and they're moving this ball with just unbelievable efficiency.
14-yard run for Butler. Couple of runs for him on this drive. Now down to the Winnipeg 24. Fresh set of downs. Bo Levi Mitchell just got the snap away and dumps it off to Butler. Adam Bighill's on him right away and is able to make the tackle.
Well, it was a good decision because Alden Darby from his Sam linebacker position blitzed, and Omar Bayless was left to block Adam Bighill, who was covering James Butler as he left the backfield. So Bo Levi sees that and dumps it off right. Perfect decision. But it's not easy to block Adam Bighill in the middle of an open field. I can tell you right now, I've tried it before.
One of the all-time leading tacklers, both he and Simone Lawrence on that list in the top 20. It's a 2nd and 10. No gain on that last play. 4 receivers to the left of Bo Levi Mitchell. He drops back, and this one's tipped and goes up in the air and falls to the turf. It's incomplete. So Winnipeg's defense bent a little bit, but they were able to get the stop, and out comes Seth Small to attempt a field goal.
Well, great open field play by Adam Bighill to stop that drive. And that 2nd and 10, 4 receivers to the left, cascading from left to right across the field, and just not enough time to get the ball downfield by Bo.
Willie Jefferson led the Bombers in knockdowns. He, of course, plays on the defensive line. He knocked that one down. Here's Seth Small. He wasn't around in the preseason, just had a new addition to his family, and Seth Small continues right where he left off. It's a good field goal from Seth Small, and the Tiger Cats on their opening drive score. It's a 3-0 lead. Hamilton in Winnipeg. We'll be right back with the Tiger Cats defense taking on Zach Collaros and the Bombers offense. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network.
This is the caretaker, Bob Young of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now back to Luke and RJ on the Ticats Audio Network.
Caretaker liked what he saw. So do Tiger Cats fans. Good opening drive for Bo Levi Mitchell. All set up by a nice return by Lawrence Woods, but it's a field goal. Seth Small, good from 31 yards out, and the Tiger Cats score first. They've scored first in both of their preseason games, now here in Winnipeg. It's a handoff. Collaros to Dembski, trying to get to the outside. Tracked down by Chris Edwards. Had to turn back. He fumbled the ball. Jameer Thurman had it for a moment. Casey Sales, the former Bomber, right there. There's a whole pack of players battling for this football. Edwards, Javian Elliott, they're both there saying Hamilton has the ball. Richard Leonard, he might be the one who's... There's a lot of guys there, Luke, that have their hands on it.
Yeah.
It's Tiger Cats ball, and it is Richard Leonard who comes out of the pack. One offensive play run by the Bombers and a turnover created by the Tiger Cats defense deep in Winnipeg territory.
Boy, that is not how Nick Dembski wanted to start off this offensive season for the Blue Bombers, and he was fighting and fighting and fighting for extra yards, change directions, and man, you're just not ready for great ball security this early in the season.
Jameer Thurman, new middle linebacker for the Tiger Cats. He is big and strong and pulled that ball right in the arms of Dembski. And then the scramble was on. Richard Leonard came diving in pretty early. And he got his hands on it and didn't let go, clearly.
And they're going to have to review this and give it the okay. But, you're not totally ready for that ball scare because you haven't been getting tackled, right? But I'll tell you who was ready to strip the ball out. Thurman, he's got it in his mind already in play one of this season that's what he has to do. And what an unbelievable job by the Ticats defense. I
talked to him at training camp, Luke, and he said he's all about takeaways. That's his goal. Good start. Bo Levi Mitchell back on the field with the offense, and he's throwing deep, and Tim White was the intended target, and the former Tiger Cat most outstanding rookie Des Lawrence knocked it away.
Well, how about this? The Hamilton Tiger Cats special teams starts off the game with an explosive return, as they call it. That's kind of anything over 25 yards where you really change the flow of the drive. They start off with the explosive return. The defense starts off play one with the turnover. I mean, you can't ask for more out of your special teams and defense.
Nope, that is a dream start. Tiger Cats facing a 2nd and 10 now on the Winnipeg 40. And looks like Coach O, he's talking to Andre Proulx.
Hamilton is challenging the previous play. They believe there was defensive pass interference on Winnipeg number 22. The play will be reviewed.
Okay, so, hey, we've seen this from O before. Great Hall of Fame defensive back. He was 7 for 10 in challenges.
We're taking a slow look at it here. Last year, of course.
Yes.
We're taking a slow look at it here. I think you could almost. There's an argument to be made for sure. It's not one of those. It's not one of those potential interferences where the actual body of the wide receiver gets pushed or gets changed. Because that's the obvious one where the actual center line of the receiver gets pushed off its mark, and it's not quite that obvious, but there's definitely a little contact. Of course, Tim White gets a hand in the face mask too, so who knows how they'll call that.
It's funny how it works. Preseason, there are a lot of plays that could be challenged, but coaches don't do it in the preseason. So right away, we're seeing a lot in the opening 4.5 minutes of this football game. Nice return by Lawrence Woods. We got Duke Williams involved, James Butler on the offense. Bose looked sharp. Seth Small kicks a field goal. Jameer Thurman creates a turnover. Now we got a challenge.
First time Bo sort of sent it down the field, but it really is. It's good coverage by Des Lawrence, former Ticat. It's kind of an interesting. It almost looked like potentially there was a missed route there. It was Tim White and Duke Williams were sort of in a similar space there, and it's not necessarily so, but to be so far down the field and still that close to each other, I don't know, it didn't look totally right, but you got to give some credit there to the Bombers secondary too. They were right where they needed to be.
This will be interesting. So Tim White, his first target of the season, was it knocked away by Des Lawrence, or are the Tiger Cats right? Coach O has challenged the play. Defensive interference. Andre Proulx, the referee, looks like he's very close to being ready to make the call. Appears he's turning on his microphone. And let's have a listen.
After review by the command center, there was no infraction of play. Rolling stands. Hamilton is charged a timeout, and they're out of challenge for the remainder of the game. Second down.
Well, the challenges are done early.
Well, missed a timeout there too. I actually don't mind this call. I don't think it was quite enough one-way contact to warrant the penalty. So now you're left with a 2nd and 10 here as a Ticat.
Ball on the Winnipeg 40. Bo Levi Mitchell, lots of movement from the receivers. They all go to the right side. Bo's looking left, though, and now the pressure's coming. Jackson Jeffcoat in his face, but Bo gets away, rolls to his left, and he throws. It is picked off. Was he in bounds, though?
No call yet, except for Willie Jefferson's call.
So the Bombers' defense celebrating. And now they're saying it was an interception.
Well, the biggest loss here is really not It's not really the turnover. You were probably going to go for that 47-yard field goal. It's really the loss of field position, though. You know, now you had an ability to either try a field goal or to really pin the Bombers back. Now they get a pretty reasonable field position start.
So Demario Houston appears to be the one who picked off the pass. And it looks like the ball's on the Winnipeg 31 to begin this drive. So a turnover for each team. Bombers get away with theirs. Tiger Cats were in pretty good spot after that fumble to turn that into points.
Well, we were just saying, I mean, the defense and the special teams for the Ticats cannot have played better early in this first quarter, but that was, you know, a disappointing missed opportunity from the Ticats offense.
Still a lead for Hamilton, 3-0. 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Very early in this game in Winnipeg. Zach Caleros play action. Throws over the middle. It is intended for Dalton Schoen. Might have been a little bit behind him, but he could not make the catch.
Well, it was a nicely developed passing pattern there. I think Caleros put a little bit behind his intended receiver there, and that was probably a miss from the Blue Bombers offense because they had Simone Lawrence moved out to the flat and tried to slip right behind him. Just didn't connect.
Last year's CFL most outstanding rookie Dalton Schoen came on the scene. Sophomore now, 2nd and 10 from their own 31. Zach Caleros going deep down that far sideline. It is complete to Carlton Agodosi, the 6'6" receiver for the Bombers, and that ate up a ton of field. Bombers are in business in Hamilton territory.
Well, 6'6", and he looks every bit of it. It's like a different type of football player running down the field. And Kenneth George Jr. also got his feet tripped up there as well. So Agadosi was kind of all alone 30 yards downfield.
40-yard gain on that play. So that shifts things. Now on the Hamilton 40. Caleros rolls right. This is where he's dangerous, being chased by Malik Carney, and he throws deep again, but might have been throwing that one away. Is now Carney, who wears number 5 for the Tiger Cats, changed from number 93, had the heat on Caleros.
You're so right, RJ. You were saying that's where he's dangerous, and it's the hair stands up on the back of your neck because we've seen so many times. You know, as a quarterback leaves the pocket, most quarterbacks, their options are diminishing with every second of the play. It's almost like Zach's options are increasing when he's outside the pocket. He can see more sometimes, it feels like.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to some of the Tiger Cats on defense. Can't let Zach get out of the pocket. You don't hear that very often. Caleros throws to his left, open receiver. It's Drew Wolotarski. He'll be brought down by Lawrence Woods, but not before another Bombers first down. Looks like they'll spot this at the 19 or the 20 of the Tiger Cats.
And far to the left side, and Wolotarski really just runs to the sticks and floats back towards the sidelines, just living in that zone space there, and Caleros able to follow his reads from right to left back to find him.
It's a good receiving core for the Bombers. Keep in mind they don't have Kenny Lawler in this game. Carlton Agodosi going to get a look. He was injured last year, only played in a couple of games. Tiger Cats defense has to hold strong here. Bombers have moved it down to the Hamilton 20. Fresh set of downs here and a first handoff to Brady Oliveira. And he runs into the meat of that defensive line. And then the linebackers come in to help out. And he went nowhere. Maybe squeezed a yard and a half out of that run.
Well, great job by the linebacking core for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They came up, they red run. It was man coverage and filled in all the gaps immediately. Chris Edwards came in from the defensive left side and had arms around that ball immediately.
Tiger Cats number 1 against the rush on defense last season. Good start here. 2nd and 7 for the Bombers. They're up to the Hamilton 17. Caleros, 3 receivers to his left, and he looks that way immediately. Couple of steps back. He's going end zone. It is a touchdown. Nick Dembski. He caught the ball in the far left corner of the end zone, and the Bombers, they take the lead.
Well, you got to hand it to Zach Collaros and his receiving core. It was a zone coverage. You've got not enough men back there and loading up the box, and he sees it quick and puts the ball out there to get his receiver a chance to make a play. Deep in the left corner of the end zone. Nice catch, nice clean touchdown.
So Sergio Castillo on to kick the convert and try to extend the Winnipeg lead to 4. Looked like Bombers had nothing going, and Collaros, that big 40-yard pass to Carlton Agadosi, and then it ends in a Nick Dembski touchdown. Castillo's good on the convert, and the Blue Bombers have their first lead of the game with 6:54 to go in the opening quarter. It's Winnipeg 7, Hamilton 3. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Dylan Wynn working hard in practice, trying to get back in the lineup, currently on the 6-game injured list for the Tiger Cats. Just under 7 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and a lot has happened in this game. Seth Small, a field goal. There was a challenge. Coach O lost that one, and Zach Collaros hooks up with Nick Dembski perfectly in the back of the end zone. So the Bombers lead the football game 7-3. And Lawrence Woods will have another opportunity to put the Tiger Cats in a good spot. Great return by Woods to begin the football game. Went right up the middle, had a nice seam, good blocking in front of him. 40 yards he returned it. Woods waits at his own 20. It's a high kickoff, and he cuts to his left. He's across the 30, the 35. They got hands on him, but couldn't bring him down. He got across the 40 and almost to the 45-yard line. So Lawrence Woods, another good return in what looked like pretty good coverage, but he made a little something happen at the end.
It is so impressive. That's just 8 yards that Bo Mitchell doesn't have to get just because of a little bit, just a little extra that Lawrence Woods puts into that return. What an asset that the Ticats special teams have in Lawrence Woods.
Bo Mitchell and the Tiger Cats offense back on the field. We'll be right back as well on the Ticats Audio Network. Welcome back, Ticats in Winnipeg. Bombers lead 7-3. We're still in the opening quarter. Bo Mitchell back on the field with the offense. So far, he's 2 for 5, 12 yards and an interception. Back to pass again. It is a completion, and he gets Tim White checked into the season with his first catch.
Tyler Janowski's out there playing the wide side of the field. Young guy, we enjoyed watching him last year and the difference that he makes. Plays in special teams. Expecting him to be more involved this year as well.
5-yard gain on that reception by Tim White. Most receptions in the CFL last season. 2nd and 5 from the Tiger Cats' own 49. Pressure coming for Bo Mitchell. Throws deep over the middle, and it's just a little too far ahead for Tim White to track down. It's incomplete. And the Tiger Cats, a 2-and-out. They'll have to punt.
Well, Bo Mitchell let go of this ball really early. I mean, it was a miscommunication. Tim White was running a different route, and Bo Mitchell thought he was going to break the other way. But the timing and the release time of it was pretty impressive. You just got to get on the same page in the playbook.
Bailey Flint, the new punter for the Tiger Cats, 2022 2nd overall global pick, and he will send this one into the end zone and not give Janarian Grant an opportunity to return. He had the best return average on punts last season. It'll be a point for the Tiger Cats, and it's now 7-4. Bombers still lead. They'll take over on their own 40-yard line with 5:39 to go in the opening quarter. Tiger Cats and Bombers split their games last season. Tiger Cats winning late at Tim Hortons Field. So coming into this one, Tiger Cats trying to string together some victories. It's tough in Winnipeg, and the Bombers lead by 3. Here's Zach Collaros back out again. Wants to throw. He does. To the right, and Dembski again. Dembski, a great catch. Tunde Adeleke tackles him, but this deep ball is haunting the Tiger Cats early.
2 plays in a row there. Nick Dembski, the touchdown, and then this reception where he just gets leverage on it. Both times it was Tunde Adeleke playing that high side of the field, and man, just a perfectly timed throw and a great angle by Dembski.
Perfect. Right in his arms, right in stride. Dembski 47 yards on that catch. So right back into Hamilton territory on the Tiger Cats 23. It's a quick sidearm throw from Caleros. Just when he got the snap, he threw right away. Dembski makes another catch along that right side, runs along the numbers, and he'll be inside the 20.
That ball flew through the air like under Jagarrett Davis's wingspan. Like it flew like right at his like gut level. That's a crazy throw and catch right off the edge of the tackle box there, but short gain by Winnipeg on a really unusual play.
Bombers going from our right to left. They're now on the Hamilton 18-yard line. Nick Dembski and Zach Caleros, they've got some chemistry. They always have, but it's early in the season. Already a touchdown, couple of big plays on this drive. 2nd and 5, another completion. Wolodarski hit hard by Javian Elliott, but it looks like he got down to the 10, which should be enough for another first down and a first and goal. Bombers offense on their first possession, Dembski fumbled, and maybe that was the worst thing that happened. It really woke Nick Dembski up. He's been on fire ever since.
Yeah, he sure has.
So here are the Bombers, 1st and goal from the Hamilton 10. Zach Caleros has Brady Oliveira beside him. Play action, fakes the throw, finally makes the throw, and it's Rashid Bailey. He's open. It's another touchdown for Winnipeg.
That was unbelievable. That was a unique formation where they have 6 linemen in the game and 1 is eligible. Dembski leaked out to the right, and Zach Caleros, what a crazy pump fake. Jagarrett Davis was right in his face, but he sort of just sidearmed it back inside of the box there underneath the Ticats linebacking core. Really unique play, but a really unique throw, athletic.
A lot happened there. Caleros play action, a very good one to Oliveira. Then that pump fake you talked about, Luke, and Bailey's just trots into the end zone. So the Bombers, with Sergio Castillo on right down the middle with the convert, it's now a 14-4 lead. Couple of touchdowns for Winnipeg in this opening quarter. There's still 2:49 to go in quarter number 1 in Winnipeg. And the offense for the Bombers is on fire. Caleros 7 for 9, 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. And we haven't even played a quarter yet.
Yeah, no, he's really playing great. He's right back at the level of execution that he was playing at last year. And Dembski, after an initial fumble, is having an unbelievable game. I oftentimes think when it starts to feel a touch out of control here from a defensive standpoint, I mean, you've got Nick Dembski in the first quarter with 3 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown. I mean, you know, my mindset defensively is tighten up. I mean, really getting guys' faces now and take away the easy answer, try to make Zach not have his first and second options available, and get a little bit more and get pressure on him. But that's an aggressive defensive call, and sometimes there's a risk reward that can turn into more explosive plays if you don't execute that strategy.
Tiger Cats open the scoring on their opening drive. Seth Small 31-yard field goal, but the Bombers have answered with a couple of touchdowns. Lawrence Woods picks up the ball on his 25 at full speed already. Here he is up near midfield again. Brought down right around the Hamilton 50, falls forward for another yard or 2, so very close to midfield by Lawrence Woods, and he has done his job on 3 returns so far tonight. He's given the offense pretty good field position.
Well, Lawrence Woods led the league in return yards last season, and at this rate, no one's going to be even close because every time he's touching it, he's getting extra yardage on every return.
Oh, Levi Mitchell claps his hands, gets the snap. James Butler gets the handoff. Oh, no, he's fumbled the ball, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have it. It's Houston again who comes up with the football. That's the second turnover. He's gotten an interception, and now fumble recovery, and the turnovers are haunting the Tiger Cats. We've seen that story before. We don't want to see that one again.
This one was hard to, it was hard to see live what caused the ball to come out. It looked like he was going to squeeze through for a large gain, and we're taking a look at it here. Yeah, just a hand in at the end as he's getting tackled, and that ball gets popped out. Like I said, RJ, you gotta get back to remembering how vulnerable that is coming out of training camp, where you're just not getting tackled to the ground like that.
So fumble recovered by the Bombers. They have pretty good field position now on their own 51. Brady Oliveira, he's tough to bring down. He's bouncing off tackles, but a swarm of Tiger Cats, including the whole line banking crew, are able to stop him after a gain of a few yards.
Big Teddy Laurent in there, longest tenured Ticat, and still as stout as ever up front. Like you said, and just so that was one of the best parts about this team last year was their defensive run game.
Bombers seem to know it too. They have not run often in this game. That's just Oliveira's second carry, 7 yards. 2nd and 6. That was a 4-yard gain for Oliveira. Right at midfield. Caleros throwing again, and another great pass. He hooks up with Dalton Schoen, and Schoen was his favorite target on 2nd down. He is here again, and it's a 1st down now for the Bombers.
Just that outside leverage. How many times have we seen Zach already in this game connect on a ball right at the hash strips, right as that receiver is close to the sidelines? That's Aguadosi, who ran the 9 go route to clear the whole thing off, and then you just take advantage of that leverage and peel your route to the outside, and Wolotarski comes up with a nice catch.
Into Hamilton territory on the Ticats 41-yard line. Handoff goes to Oliveira. This time he's got a little more running room. Brought down by Jameer Thurman. But he'll be very close to a 1st down, maybe a yard and a half shy.
We talked about the weapons that Winnipeg has in the receiving core, and then Oliveira also just, tough. Earns his yards, takes advantage of every little bit that you give him. He's another asset that they have in the run game as well. I mean, they've kind of got answers on in both the run game and the passing game.
Only 3 1,000-yard rushers last season in the CFL. 2 of them are in this game. Oliveira and Butler, and Kadeem Carey, the other one. Here's Oliveira again. They give it right back to him. Needed to get across the 30-yard line, and it looks like he did for another Bombers 1st down. And there's 1 second on the clock in this opening quarter. Bombers are moving the ball again. A couple of touchdowns, couple of turnovers by the Tiger Cats in the 1st quarter.
You saw the Blue Bombers respond and answer back to that turnover that they made at the first play of this game. But what helped them do that is the Ticats have now outdid their turnovers twice over, right?
Last play of the opening quarter. Play action to Oliveira, and now Caleros going deep, wide open in the end zone. It's Drew Wolotarski, and some great trickery on offense, and Wolotarski ended up wide open. 3 first-quarter touchdowns for the Bombers, and they send a statement. That's something.
Yeah, wow. I mean, Caleros is finding answers everywhere, and that's the 2nd time that we've seen a Blue Bomber score points with a Ticat defender actually on the ground. Legs getting tripped up at the top of a route there. Kenneth George Jr. is 10, 15 yards behind as that touchdown gets scored.
Castillo, he's been out there a lot for the Bombers. Kickoffs and 3 converts. And the Bombers, after the Tiger Cats had the early 3-0 lead, they just poured it on. It's 21-4. Winnipeg leading, and we've only played a quarter. We'll see if the Ticats can get going in the 2nd quarter when we come back on the Ticats Audio Network. Great to have you with us. Game 1 of the regular season. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker. And it started well for the Tiger Cats. A field goal, a lead, 3-0, and the Blue Bombers look like they played all off-season. They haven't missed a beat. The chemistry, the Play calls all looked really good. 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. Now we're underway in the second quarter. Lawrence Woods stops on a dime, going to his left, now trying to get to his right. Now straight ahead, there is a flag on the play. There haven't been many flags in this game. Andre Prue, the referee.
During the return, holding Hamilton number 46, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that was the bright spot of the first quarter, was the return game, and unfortunately the second quarter starts off exactly opposite. Lawrence Woods unable to find the corner, and then the holding call negates the yards that he was able to gain anyways.
Bo Levi Mitchell in the opening quarter went 3 for 7, 18 yards passing. He threw an interception. Worst starting field position in the game for the Tiger Cats. They're on their own 16. High snap to Bo Levi Mitchell. Play action to James Butler. Completes the pass to Tyler Turnowski, and the ball popped loose for a second. But he jumped on it. No harm done, and it'll be close to a first down.
Well, I think I like this play call. To me, get the ball out of Bo Levi's hands as you're trying to find some offensive rhythm, right? Give him a quick answer. Let these ball players get a chance to make a move and positive yards.
2nd and 4 from their own 22. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to convert a second down, but he's under pressure. Has to scramble to his right and throws. It's complete. Keandre Smith, and he's up to the Hamilton 40-yard line. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Yeah, this play took a long time to get off, and then Bo Levi Mitchell, as he moved out to the right, Keandre Smith did a great job of getting in phase with him and sort of just staying right there in his field of vision. Bo Levi Mitchell finds him downfield.
First time Bo's been on the run and looked good throwing on the run. Now up to their own 39. Bo Levi Mitchell gets the snap, hands off to James Butler, goes to his right now, cuts to his left, straight up the middle, and he will be just a little bit shy of the 45-yard line. Looks like about 4 or 5 on that game.
One of the hard things about a game like this, when Winnipeg is just rolling, I feel like we've seen a whole spectrum of Winnipeg offense, but we haven't really even seen the Ticats offense. You have 2 turnovers. That ends your drives, and they're still getting the feel for this game into the second quarter here.
It was a 5-yard gain, so 2nd and 5 from the Hamilton 44. Mitchell trying to convert another second down. He completes the pass. It's again to Keandre Smith. Did he have enough forward momentum to get that first down?
He did a great job. That was cover 0 across the board, just a flat top defense. Every receiver one-to-one with their man, and Keandre Smith gets to the sticks, demands his space with his body language, and it secures the catch.
Tiger Cats do keep it rolling with an Active Green and Ross first down. Couple of big second down receptions by Keandre Smith in his second year. One of few players born in the year 2000. Bo Levi Mitchell looking deep down the middle, and Tim White, the intended target. Right there was Evan Holm. He got a hand on it and knocked it away. It's incomplete. A couple of long passes intended for Tim White have not connected yet.
That's the second time we've seen halfback Evan Holm make a nice breakup down the field for the Blue Bombers secondary. Tim White just not quite able to shake loose at the top of that route, and the ball a little bit underneath him.
Good adjustment by Holm to come back and knock that ball away. Tiger Cats don't have any challenges left. Mitchell trying to convert another second down. Terry Godwin makes the catch, scrambling for a few extra yards, gets across midfield, but he needed to get inside the Winnipeg 50, and he did not.
Bailey Flint, punter for the Ticats, who we enjoyed talking about, and you had a great interview with him in the preseason, and this is where he's just got to shine. You have a real ability here right around center field to really make Zach Collaros run the full length on your defense.
Check it out on Run It Back on the Ticats Audio Network. Bailey Flint calls himself a get-out-of-jail-free card for the quarterback. If he can flip the field, that's his plan right now. Flint, in his first CFL season, just inside his own 45-yard line. He's from Melbourne, Australia. So many from Australia, and the ball goes out of bounds, but there's some pushing and shoving and a late flag. Looked like Omar Bayless was involved with the Tiger Cats. We will sort this out when we come back. 10:43 to go in the opening half. The Blue Bombers are leading 21-4. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Welcome back, Tiger Cats in Winnipeg. And there was an illegal punt, Bailey Flint, that went out of bounds. And an unnecessary roughness penalty against the Tiger Cats as well. So 2 penalties, and all of a sudden the Bombers are in terrific field position on their own 45-yard line, up 21-4. Calero stands in the pocket, throws over the middle, and he hits his favorite target so far tonight, Nick Dembski, and it's another Bombers first down, and they're in Ticats territory.
Well, it's hard. You're not finding answers in the rush, and you're not finding answers in loading your defensive cover zones. I mean, that's cover 10. That there's no help except for a free safety there, which means you're loading the rush. But to me, it looked like Zach's pretty comfortable. Yes, the rush has increased, but he stayed in the pocket and waited for that deep cutting in route from Dembski there. You know, unfortunately, it looks a little easy, doesn't it?
He does make it look easy. Oliveira, he gets the handoff, stops immediately, waits for a hole to open up, and scrounges out about 6, 7, maybe 8 yards. We'll see where they spot this.
Well, that's Tunde Adeleke filling the middle there and stopping that, making that tackle. And boy, that was a physical hit from a free safety.
And nowhere near 8 yards. It's more like 40 yards. So it is 2nd and 6 for the Bombers. Tiger Cats defense desperate for a stop here. Bombers have moved up to the Hamilton 42-yard line. Caleros steps back. He's going to pass over the middle. Oh, almost picked off Simone Lawrence. He came out of nowhere, and he knocked the ball down, but you know he wanted to pick that off. There is a flag on this play.
Boy, it's some illegal contact or something on Hamilton, unfortunately. You're right. Simone Lawrence was right there for the pick. And I think actually they're going to call it pass interference instead of illegal contact. So the ball was in the air apparently. They're saying it's on Simone Lawrence. That's kind of hard. That's hard to understand. He was sort of sprinting across the field, but either way, regardless of who was the infraction, too much contact down the field.
And Ticats unable to challenge. If they thought it should have been, lost a challenge earlier, they're out of challenges. So now this ball's on the Hamilton 32. Fresh set of downs. It's on the ground. Brady Oliveira, he's not afraid of contact. Runs right into Jameer Thurman. Finally, the middle linebacker brings him down, but another tough run for Oliveira up the middle. Looks like about 7 on that carry. 2nd and 3 coming up for the Bombers. They have been successful on 2nd downs. Bombers lead the game 21-4. We're in the 2nd quarter. 8 minutes and 7 seconds remain in the half. Caleros, play action to Oliveira, then he dumps it over to Dalton Schoen. Tiger Cats were waiting for him, and a couple of big hits. Chris Edwards, Lawrence Woods stopped Dembski and his Schoen in his tracks. But it looks like enough for a first down.
This is silly. Yeah, they got the first down, and there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as well.
Conduct, Hamilton number 8. We're going to go 10 yards, and this is a misconduct foul.
So Lawrence Woods, one more of those misconduct fouls, and that's a big hole in the Tiger Cats lineup.
Wow. Kind of a goofy situation, honestly, almost hard to explain, but I don't think he really intended to do anything egregious or even that offensive, but he kind of nudged the ball with his foot and ended up kind of kicking it back at Dembski. totally a strange penalty, but you also got to know that you can't do it.
Ball's on the Hamilton 10, first and goal, Winnipeg. Caleros going for it immediately. It's overthrown. Javian Elliott was the closest to it. The closest bomber was Dalton Schoen, but it is well past the end zone, so it's incomplete.
Great job, Javian Elliott. He knows he knows exactly what we've talked about. All of these passes to the outside of the field, to the deep corners, to the sidelines, and he was not going to lose leverage to that deep corner route there.
Second and goal here. The Bombers on the Hamilton 10. Caleros, he has been really good. 11 for 14. And he's under pressure, runs into the pocket, gets out of there. Now the pressure comes again. He just dumps this ball away. No Bombers close by. That was kind of an odd play. It looked like Zach was going to run it and then backed off. And then he just threw it to an open part of the field. What are you seeing, Luke?
There's a flag in the backfield there, too. For some reason, I'm guessing it's holding on.
Intentional grounding.
Oh.
Winnipeg number 8. The ball will be placed from where it was thrown. It will be third down.
That's quite a loss, too. He was way back in the backfield when he released that. And there you see the rush. Mark Washington's defense, get some success in that rush. And it was a 4-man rush. They just got back there quick. Zach had to take his eyes off of his patterns downfield. Yeah, he just dumps it away behind the line of scrimmage.
Jagera Davis was about to track him down, so he got rid of the ball. This turns into a 31-yard field goal attempt for Sergio Castillo. So despite the yardage loss, it's no problem for the Bombers field goal kicker. He makes that 31-yarder and adds to the Bombers lead. It's now 24-4. Winnipeg leads Hamilton with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the opening half. Tiger Cats trying to get something going before the half's over. We'll see if they can do it when we return on the Ticats Audio Network. The Bombers, with 6:50 to go, lead 24-4. Second down conversions have been very good for the Bombers. Last season, the Tiger Cats were great at forcing 2 and outs, but these second down conversions, 6 for 8 for Winnipeg in this game. A flip to Butler, back to Mitchell, back to Butler. There's helmets on the field, and Butler's up at midfield after that run, and it is a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
That was a really cool play there. And RJ, you probably have gathered, I don't like outside runs with where the ball has to be pitched, or it just takes so long. This one was so well executed. Terry Godwin blocking really well to the outside. You've got Brandon Revenberg in the inside, the big guys coming out and helping. James Butler just double arm wrapped around the ball and making his way downfield.
Tiger Cats up to their own 54, very close to midfield. Another handoff to James Butler. Does a 360, then off to his left, and he will get across midfield. Gain of about 4, it looks like, maybe 3.
Well, he's got a great combination of size and quickness, and when you're hard to bring down and you can move, man, that'll give you 1,000 yards in a season, and that's what he's coming off of.
Tiger Cats would like to get that run game going a lot more this season, but they're in a big hole. They got to get some points here. 5.5 to go in the half. They're down by 20. Right at midfield, Bo, Levi, Mitchell looking deep again for Tim White. And it's something they've worked on a lot, but they just have not been able to connect. This one just mere inches out of the reach of Tim White. It goes incomplete.
Well, I still like the read. It was Dietrich Nichols, the halfback for the Blue Bombers, that blitzed off of the left edge to Levi Mitchell's left. And Tim White gets over the top, but a little bit of a misconnection there. Just couldn't put the ball right where they needed it.
Janarian Grant gets his first touch on the football, and a big hit thrown by Anthony Federico, who got downfield and put a stop to the dangerous Janarian Grant. 5:13 to go in the half. Bombers lead 24-4, and they've got the ball again. We'll be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Thanks for joining us at the Ticats Audio Network. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker. About 22 degrees in Winnipeg. Beautiful evening. Just over 5 minutes to go in the half, and the Blue Bombers have looked like a team that has gone to 3 straight Grey Cups. They have been very, very good in this opening half. 24-4 they lead. Tiger Cats defense can't afford to give up anymore. Brady Oliveira runs to his left. Richard Leonard along with Simone Lawrence on that tackle.
Yeah, Richard Leonard coming up similar to what we just saw Tunde Adeleke do a few plays ago. Those guys in the secondary are not shying away from getting involved in filling up that space and taking away some of this run effort from the Blue Bombers.
2-yard gain, now 2nd and 8. Bombers on their own 23. Simone Lawrence set the CFL record in Winnipeg with 17 tackles in a game. That was in 2019. Zach Calaros trying to convert another 2nd down, and it was incomplete. Rashid Bailey was the intended target. He had it for a second, not long enough, and a rare 2 and out here for the Bombers.
Yeah, and Richard Leonard right there again, 2 plays in a row. He's involved in the stop, and he came up and made contact, perfect timing, and Bailey not able to hold on to that ball.
And he looks injured. It's like he's favoring that right arm somewhere. So we're going to see a punt from the Bombers for the first time. Jamison Sheehan. Very good punt. Wow. Lawrence Woods pushed back inside his 30. Makes a nice move, evades that first wave of Bombers. They get some hands on him, and he will get across the 45, maybe to the 47 or 48-yard line. Another good return from Lawrence Woods.
Yeah, and Lawrence Woods, he was 55 yards.
Holding Hamilton number 36.
Kills me, RJ. Penalties in the return game. Whole offense takes the field and then starts that drive by marching backwards, and it just kills me inside to see it. Lawrence Woods was 55 yards away from that punt, and he knew something I didn't, because that's exactly where he caught the ball. That was a huge, huge kick there up into the air by Sheehan, and Ticats have a tough starting field position here.
On their own 24-yard line, with just over 3.5 minutes to go. Boley by Mitchell, pump fake to the right, throws deep down the right sideline, this time intended for Terry Godwin, and just not connecting. Overthrown a little bit. They're trying that deep ball, Luke, but they just can't make it work in this first half.
Well, and you got to say, you're looking at a touchdown to Tim White, and potentially he'd had a long way to run here, Terry Godwin, if he would have caught that, but he's a guy who can run that distance. That would have been a touchdown there. You hit him in stride. I mean, that's 2 misses there. Yeah, it's week 1, and this is a fresh group of guys together. A lot of these guys just met 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, but a couple misses early here.
Ticats 3 for 8 on 2nd down conversions. This is a 2nd and 10, and Bo Levi Mitchell under pressure. Willie Jefferson gets the sack. So the Tiger Cats will lose a little more yardage, and that takes us to the 3-minute warning. And the Bombers are going to get this football back with 3 minutes to go in the opening half with a 24-4 lead. We will be back with the conclusion of the opening half on the Ticats Audio Network. Back in Winnipeg, Tiger Cats hunting the football. Final 3 minutes of the opening half. Down by 20. Janarian Grant catches this Bailey Flint punt inside his own 45, and the Tiger Cats force him out of bounds, but it's still good field position. He's just across midfield. Looks like they'll put him at the Hamilton 54-yard line.
Yeah, really good starting field position for the Blue Bombers. Probably their best of the night there, and Zach still, he's still got a lot of time to make the most of that here in the second quarter.
Sunday, the CarStar Community Autograph Session will be at Tim Hortons Field. The event starts at Stipley at 1:30. The Dance and Cheer team will be there. Pigskin Pete. There'll be a barbecue, $5 beers from 2 to 3. All the Tiger Cats will be on the field for autographs. So Tim Hortons Field, CarStar Community Autograph Session this Sunday at 1:30. Handoff to Brady Oliveira, goes straight ahead. Mo Diallo in on that tackle, stopping the Bombers well short of the first down. Another second down here for Winnipeg. The Tiger Cats defense can come up huge if they can prevent the Bombers from converting this. Second and 6. Ball on the Hamilton 49-yard line. Zach Caleros directing traffic, looking to his left, looking to his right, waves his right arm. Now he gets the snap, drops back to pass, pump fakes. Now he'll step back a little bit, has to check it down. Oliveira's open, and he's got some blocking. He's got the first down. Mo Diallo trying to track him down, and the big defensive lineman does, but not until a big gain for the Bombers. They're inside the Hamilton 30 now, and another first down.
The score could be so lopsided in a game that just comes down to so many just little decisions and little errors. I mean, that's Jagarrett Davis and I think Simone Lawrence out there together, but Oliveira is just able to slip around both of them. Just good timing and good execution on his part, and, you know, just early season lack of good tackling.
Bombers have moved up to the Hamilton 27-yard line. Still over 2 minutes to go in the half. Fake pitch to Demski. Caleros rolls to his right, and wide open at the 10 is Dalton Schoen. JV and Elliott, Lawrence Wood. Schoen still hasn't gone down, and Kyle Wilson's there. Jameer Thurman, Jonathan Kongbo. They couldn't bring him down. Finally, the forward progress was stopped, and the whistle goes. But it'll be a first and goal here for Winnipeg with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's an interesting play there, too. Richard Leonard from the halfback position gets brought down to cover the back, escaping from the backfield, but that just leaves a huge vacated zone right behind him, and Zach Caleros moving out of the pocket, just so dangerous.
Bombers already with 3 touchdowns. They lead 24-4. They're on the Hamilton 7. Brady Oliveira stutters as he gets to the line, and he's brought down a couple of yards short of the goal line. Simone Lawrence involved in that tackle. Jonathan Kongbo was as well. Second and goal now for the Bombers. Still 1:34 to go in the opening half. Trying to add to their 20-point lead. Winnipeg, one of the favorites coming into this season. Tiger Cats are expected to do well in the East Division. They had a lead, 3-0 early on in this game. A quarterback keeper, it was not Zach Caleros. Coming in was Tyrell Pigrome. And I don't think he got into the end zone.
No, I don't think. It was a good stop by the Ticat defense, and Tunde Adeleke right up in the mix there. Jameer Thurman. And Tunde, he's a free safety who is so often making plays up in the run game, the short yardage situation here. He's a football player.
Now, what's Winnipeg going to do? Third down, balls on about the 1.5-yard line. They want to go for it. They want the touchdown. Pigrome under center again. He tries to get into the end zone. The Tiger Cats, I think they stopped him. His helmet comes off. Kyle Wilson, he had him wrapped up around the waist, pulled him down back to the 5. It all depends where his forward momentum got him to, but I don't think he's in, Luke.
This is huge. This is a huge stop if the defense comes up with this, and they're going to take another look. Live, it did not look like he got into the end zone.
Bailey Feltmate, he got his shoulder in there. Feltmate's been the Swiss Army knife.
Kyle, that was a physical play. There was just pads exploding everywhere.
He didn't get in.
If you want to know what a short yardage situation is like, that Pigrome had his own lineman's feet in his face. Did you see that? He got hit in the face with his own lineman's feet, like half a second after the snap of the ball. People are just getting flipped upside down there. Unbelievable.
This could be a momentum changer. A couple of cracks at it from inside the 2-yard line. Tiger Cats defense comes up huge. So now Bo Levi Mitchell in his own end zone, throwing deep again, intended for Tim White. And it is incomplete. Des Lawrence in coverage, and flags are flying all over the place.
A lot of contact at the top of the route there.
Offensive pass interference.
So Tim White, offensive pass
12.
interference.
That penalty will be declined. Second down.
So you can't move the Tiger Cats back much more. So we lost it down.
I mean, that's Des Lawrence was in pretty good position. I don't know about the offensive pass interference there. It looks like both guys are going for the catch. Actually, I think it's a bad call, but because of the field position here, it doesn't really matter.
This long pass isn't working for the Tiger Cats in the open.
They have not connected, no.
2nd and 10, ball on the Hamilton 1. Bo Levi Mitchell, this is a shorter pass. It's complete. Won't be enough for the first down. Duke Williams made the catch, and the Bombers put a stop to this quickly. There's still just under a minute to go in the half, 58 seconds. So the Tiger Cats will have to punt from deep in their own zone, which would give the Bombers good field position, but we'll see what the Tiger Cats elect to do here.
Wow, physical tackle there. Keandre Smith able to get up, but a lot of contact to the helmet. Yeah, unfortunately, and so Tunde Adeleke is at the punting position here, so of course they're going to kill time and take a safety.
So give up 2 instead of potentially more. Janarian Grant, one of the best in the CFL at returning punts. Tiger Cats run the clock down as much as they can. Tunde will wait, and now he'll try to run a little bit.
Well, they're going to call this dead, I think, before the snap of the ball.
Andre Prue, we'll see what he has to say here. Tunde was being chased. And Tunde talking to referee Prue. So
it actually did look like Tunde was potentially going to try to make that run for a first down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he did kind of get the edge of the defense, and I'm wondering if he's...
So we're going to apply a 10-yard...
Well, okay. Let's see if we can get this figured out. Andre Prue, it sounded like 10 yards, but...
On the previous play, Hamilton number 2 fake to go down, and he didn't go down by rule. This is objectionable conduct. Hamilton number 2, a 10-yard penalty will be enforced, and the clock should read 36 seconds. 36.
Boy, I thought he was just backpedaling. I didn't think he faked going down.
So, but a 10-yard penalty, where are they spotting this ball?
It'll be on the 50, on the Winnipeg 50. So
this is crazy.
And the safety. So they get 2 points, and they get the ball on their own 50 with 36 seconds to go. So it's 26-4 now.
Yeah, of course. He was in the end zone, so they're calling the play dead, and he was in the end zone, and you get 10 yards.
Boy,
what a bizarre call.
Yeah, here's a handoff. Oliveira didn't get much. Casey Sales, part of the group. Jameer Thurman bringing down the running back of the Bombers. Couple of yards on that run. Winnipeg leads 26-4. There's under 30 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 7. Zach Caleros completes the pass near side. Rashid Bailey was favoring his right arm earlier, makes that catch. He got out of bounds, got the first down in Hamilton territory, and there's 21 seconds to go.
That's about... They probably got field position right there, or at least enough to make an attempt at it. It would be long, but 21 seconds left, and another chance. There's a lot happened in this last 3 minutes. They're back in a position to get scoring points.
Wind gusting up over 40 kilometers per hour. On the Hamilton 47, Zach Collaros steps back in the pocket, throws into traffic, completes it to Dembski, breaks a couple of tackles, and he's down to the Hamilton 25. Now they've definitely got enough yardage for a field goal attempt, but there's 14 seconds left. They'll be thinking about more points than a field goal. Winnipeg quick to the ball on the Hamilton 25. Another pass intended for Bailey. This one knocked away. Adeleke was the one who knocked it away, and he's down. He's holding his right elbow. Tunde Adeleke is down.
Not the Ticat that you want to see laying on the field.
Can anything else go wrong in this opening half? What is happening? Lots of penalties, turnovers.
He's really in some pain with his favoring his right arm. Hard to see in the replay exactly what would have went wrong, but you just never know with that. 7 seconds left. They've got a second down here. You could take a shot at the end zone if you're Winnipeg, if you know that you can end the play before the clock dies. Or you can just try to reposition the ball in the run game for your field goal unit, but already a really easy field goal. What a crazy last 3 minutes of this half, though.
Yes.
You know, inability for the Ticat offense to dig them out of that hole. The strange call on the punt, which I got to think 99% of CFL fans didn't know that that was a rule, right? Like the faking to go down and a misconduct.
Right.
Really bizarre stuff.
Right. I would assume if Tiger Cats had a challenge, they would have challenged that. I didn't see a fake. I'd have to see it again, but it looked like he was just backpedaling. So, 2nd and 10, the Hamilton 24. They run the ball ahead, and the Bombers will attempt a field goal, but there is another flag.
Well, Mo Diallo has been face mask to face mask after plays, really chippy, physical. There's been words shared, and now Jagarrett Davis is trying to calm him down because he got mixed up after a play, and he's leaving the field now. Ted Laurent replacing him.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton number 94, at the distance to the goal. This is a misconduct foul. First down.
So we saw a replay, Luke.
Yeah, you know, emotions are hot, man, and Mo Diallo let it get the best of him there. Way too physical after the whistle. Just a blatant sort of reaction.
Jumped and landed on the tackled player after he was down, after the play was over, and penalties have really been a problem. Short field goal inside 20 yards for Sergio Castillo. The 19-yarder is good, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers complete a very dominant opening half. 29-4. They lead the Tiger Cats. Luke, this is not what I expected, especially after the Tiger Cats took a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it sure isn't. And those first plays of the game offensively looked good until, you know, that drive stopped for the field goal, but you're feeling really great about that. You start off defensively with a turnover, and that's about where the good ended there. And Zach Collaros, you can't just put this all on yourself as a Ticat, because you're playing a very, very good offense. They have had success running the ball here, and they've had great success through the air. You know, kind of a sputtering second quarter there all around. We had a really, really strange turn of events at the end of that half. And as kind of dark as it seems, you've got to take care of those uncontrollables like that misconduct there, Mo Diallo. But it's just it's little things here and there. It's just near misses with Bo Levi Mitchell and his receivers. Those are just little fixes you can make and get right back into the game here. But it can seem like an elephant sitting on your chest, you know, when it's easy to sit here and say little things here and there. But, you know, sometimes this game has been not close from another point of view.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what Bubba and Andy have to say. It's 29-4 for the Bombers leading the Tiger Cats. It's Tiger Cats at the half. Presented by My Insurance Broker with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantus. And it's next on the Ticats Audio Network.
One-sided affair at IG Field at the moment through one half of football. Winnipeg Blue Bombers 29, Hamilton Tiger Cats 4. This is Tiger Cats at the half, presented by My Insurance Broker. I'm Bubba O'Neill along with Andy Fantus, and you know, we obviously have to talk about what's going wrong with the Tiger Cats through 30 minutes of football, number 83. But I'll only say this: the Tiger Cats look like it's week 1, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers look like it's week 10.
One word is frustration. Frustration. I mean, you had a fast start, just like you were hoping for, and then as soon as the defense gets that early fumble against Nick Dempsey, Jameer Thurman causes the fumble, Richard Leonard picks it up. Following that, you go to an ill-advised challenge, kind of a poor pass, but an ill-advised challenge, and the following play, an interception, and then it was just really all downhill from there. You got to give credit to the Blue Bombers, Zach Collaros especially. Ends up 15 for 22, 288 yards with 3 touchdowns in the first half. On the flip side, a number of chances for big plays for Bo Levi Mitchell, 3 of them to Tim White. Just cannot seem to get in rhythm. Tim White ran 2 kind of corner posts down the middle of the field, and both passes were not on target, and then a deep ball down the left side, a little too far. But you know, you and I were looking to each other after a certain point, thinking, okay, well, it's 21-4, and if they can just go down and get a touchdown here, we got a ball game. And Terry Godwin runs a nice stutter go, and again, just can't quite find the target on what would have been a sure 80-yard pass. And what happens right after that? Riley lets Jefferson come around the edge for a big sack. So just a number of one after another sort of plays that just all add up to what you're seeing on the scoreboard. But, you know, it's all little things. It's all little things. A lot of them are able to be cleaned up. A lot of penalties, the turnovers, the missed connections, and that's what you get.
Let's run through some of the scoring here. First quarter scoring. Sesamo with a 31-yard field goal as the Tiger Cats did jump up in front 3-0. Collaros to Dembski, 17-yard touchdown, courtesy of that 40-yard bomb to Agronozzi. And then it's a Flint punt single to make it 7-4. And then Collaros comes right back on the next drive and has a connection with Bailey for a 10-yard touchdown, set up by a 47-yard connection to Nick Dembski, who had just an outstanding first quarter. And then on the very next possession, it's Collaros to Drew Wolodarski for a 30-yard touchdown over the top. It is then 21-4 through first quarter. Second quarter, things kind of slowed down offensively. Castillo with a 32-yard field goal to make it 24-4. Delicate with the interesting situation with that safety conceded, 26-4. And then to end the half, Castillo, the former Ticat kicker, connects from 19 yards to make it 29-4. I'm going to throw this to you here, and I know I'm going to speak more so as a fan here. Is there any chance that you see Matthew Schultz in this ball game?
I don't think so. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. I mean, you brought Bo Levi Mitchell to lead this team. You don't want to cause any controversy in this within this team right now. The message has got to be, let's just settle down and restart. Don't forget about what has happened. We got to clean up all these misconducts. You got three misconducts in the first half. Mo Dalio jumping on that, like at the end of that play.
That was just silly.
He's going to get suspended
for sure.
Fined for that, I'm sure. And the other two were avoidable. The Lawrence Wood just kind of flicked up the ball with his foot, and didn't really seem like he thought anything was wrong with it. But he's got to know that that's a penalty. And then that Tunde one, I got to see it again. He got 7 penalties for 76 yards in that first half, again, versus 1 penalty for the Bombers. And, you know, I think one of them, that's Simone Lawrence almost had a pick, which could have been ran back for a touchdown. They called a pass interference. I didn't see any contact by any of the defensive backs on that play, but it's all for naught. But yeah, long story short, to answer your question, I don't think you can take blowout right now. You got to give him that confidence that it is his team, and I think he can respond. It's early season jitters, and there's lots of time left. I want to see the defense tighten up the coverage a bit. It seems like the Bombers are getting these 5 to 10 yard passes with ease, versus the Ticats are getting big hits laid on them anytime they're trying to catch those short ones. Easier said than done when you have receivers like Dalton Schoen, like Nick Dempsey, like Drew Waltowski,
Richard
Bailey. Yeah, they're experienced players, so it's not so easy just to come up and pressure. But you gotta change something up and not let Zach just dictate his way down the field.
Well, I hope George Jr. Made a shoe change of some type of cleat change there, because he fell down twice on 2 long connections there for Collaros. Here's one of the positives I thought. James Butler, yes, he fumbled the football, 6 carries, 56 yards. I know James Butler can't bring you back 25 points, but he can be an important part of it, can he not, going forward?
Yeah, you got to dictate the game moving forward, and it starts with the run game. Use that run to loosen up the defense and open up the passing game. Make them come and try to load the box. I said loosen up, but I mean just alter what they're doing, just change up what they're doing right now. So make them try to defend the run and open up the passing game, and allow Bo to just take a deep breath, settle in, and a lot of pressure coming into a new team like this. With all this high expectations, so you just gotta put that half behind them and move forward, and Bo can do that.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers 29, Hamilton Tiger Cats 4. That's 30 minutes of football. Who knows what will happen in the next 30 as we get ready for the second half. Coming up next, it is RJ and Luke from the broadcast booth. And yes, we are live on the Ticats Audio Network.
Back in Winnipeg, almost set for the second half. It was a first half to forget for the Tiger Cats, 29-4. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers lead. We all know that Winnipeg is a tough place for the visiting team, but all that cohesiveness on the Bombers really seems to have stood out in the opening half. Zach Collaros, a lot of chemistry with his receiving core on offense, whereas the Tiger Cats offense didn't look like they had that chemistry yet. Hopefully it'll come.
Yeah, no, they didn't. And, it's a good point, too. I mean, this is a Winnipeg offense that, of course, there's a little change each offseason, but this is a group who's been around, who's been building a culture for a handful of seasons. And this is a new offense in part, or in great part here for Hamilton, but they've not been able to find that rhythm, really short of the first opening drive, right? Like, we were kind of impressed after a great return, great field position, and a good string of plays. And that was the end of the offensive success, really. Bo Levi Mitchell, there's certainly been some overthrown passes, some missed balls, but he's just like us. He hasn't had a chance to feel a rhythm and get established here, and some misses sort of all around offensively. And you cannot talk about this game one-sided, meaning the Blue Bombers are playing really well. Zach Collaros is putting on a show. His receivers are where they need to be. They're exploiting what the Hamilton defense is giving them, and it's not just one group beating the rest. Each 12 guys can only do so much on the field, and when a quarterback is seeing every single deficiency of each coverage that he's looking at, that's really hard to defend.
Yeah, and Zach has looked very relaxed and calm, and you're right. Everything he's done seems to have worked. They were really good on second down conversions. Tiger Cats had a couple of really good stops late in that opening half where they were able to stop the Bombers, which would have been more points. It was on about the 1.5 yard line, couple of big stops to get that turnover. 8 for 12, though, the Bombers on second down conversions. What do you say in that locker room, Luke. What do you think was said for the Tiger Cats, whether it be players or coaches?
Well, don't beat around the bush. I mean, the Blue Bombers are beating them in every aspect of the game, but you also have to zoom down into the details. If you look at this thing from the 30,000-foot view, you can't even figure out which direction to go in. But when you zoom down to the details, there are little things that we can go back and pick out on each play that changes this game in double-digit points. I mean, it's just these little decisions and little misses, and the game can look different if you start to play and make those decisions a little better here as we get kicked off.
Lawrence Woods gets this kickoff at his own 20, stumbles as he gets across the 30, and he slaps the turf in frustration because he was trying to get a cut in there and maybe get a huge gain, but he lost his footing, and he'll get just across the 30, maybe to the 32-yard line.
So both halves, Ticats get to start with the ball, and Lawrence Woods not quite the return we saw to start the game, but still Bo Levi Mitchell a chance to get things going and change directions here in this second half of the first game as a Ticat.
Bo Levi Mitchell looking for his first touchdown pass as a Tiger Cat. Start of the second half, Bo went 8 for 16 for 61 yards in the opening half. Play action to James Butler. Here's Tim White. They were going with the long pass to him. It wasn't working. This is a short one, and Tim catches it in the backfield and gets up very close to a first down.
Well, a play like this is all about wide receiver blocking, and Tim White running from the right to the left, which is the boundary side. You're right to the play action, and it's all about how well these wide receivers can hold those open field blocks, and that's a really solid gain for a wide receiver screen out to the left.
8 yards for Tim White, 2nd and 2. Tiger Cats on their own 40. Need a good start in this second half. Down big. Butler gets it, goes straight ahead, needs a couple of yards, reaches ahead, and it looks like he should have enough for the first down, and he does. It's a first down presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Well, when you get 8 yards, an 8-yard crack on first down, that's a second down call that's pretty easy. You can open up the playbook to just about anything. Great job moving the chains to start the half.
Tim White had the 4th most receiving yards in the CFL last season, trying to get that chemistry with Bo Levi Mitchell. Tiger Cats move up to their own 42. Again, play action to Butler, Keandre Smith. He's been a favorite target, and he has been reliable. Very close to another first down. That's his 4th reception of this game.
Great job. He's reaching up there, and that's a weak spot. He was inches from the first down, but 2nd and 1. You're down 2nd and 1. You know that I love that opportunity. I would take a shot downfield right now if I was Tommy Condell and Bo Levi Mitchell.
Let's see what they decide to do up to their own 51-yard line. 2nd and a long one. It's a handoff to James Butler. He's hit immediately, keeps the feet moving, and stretches out for, looks like he will be close to the first down. Where are they going to spot this ball? And he's good. He's got the first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling. So James Butler scrounging out some short yardage to get a new set of downs. Early third quarter. Bombers with a big lead. They had a great first half, 29-4. They lead the Tiger Cats. Tiger Cats in their white tops, black bottoms, black helmets, going from left to right. Getting close to midfield, Bo Levi Mitchell, nowhere to go. The ball comes loose, and the Bombers have it. Dietrich Nichols comes up with a football, another turnover from the Tiger Cats. Bo was surrounded, he was sacked, ball popped loose, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers come up with it. Bombers football. Early second half on another Tiger Cats turnover. Winnipeg already leads 29-4. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. 3 minutes into the second half. Bombers lead 29-4. They've already created a turnover. A Bo Levi Mitchell fumble recovered by Dietrich Nichols. And the Bombers will begin this drive on the Hamilton 40. Tiger Cats have 4 turnovers in the game. We're very early in the second half. Zach Caleros, what a first half he had. 15 for 22, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pitches this one to Oliveira, and he's running to his left. Gets to the outside pass to Garrett Davis. Has some blocking. He's inside the 20, the 15. Finally pushed out of bounds by Jameer Thurman. Big gain, Brady Oliveira.
And momentum is a real force, and man, things are just going so right. Unbelievable downfield blocking. Oliveira able to capture the edge. And you know, that offensive drive there, the Ticats were getting some first downs, but then a catastrophic mistake. And you know, you just, if you're Bo, you just got to be thinking throw that away or get sacked, but the fumble just can't happen.
Bombers on the Hamilton 12 now. It's another handoff to Oliveira. We'll probably see lots of that with his big lead. He'll only get a couple of yards.
Well, very quickly there, the Bombers are right down close to the end zone here in the Ticats territory. It is good. We got number 2, Tunde Adeleke's back in the lineup, free safety. He was,
good point.
Before the half, he went down and looked like he was in some pain, but he's able to be on the field again. That's good news for Ticat fans.
Yes. It didn't look great. Looked like he was favoring his right arm, but he is in there. 2nd and 8 here for the Bombers from the Tiger Cats 10. Zach Calero's empty backfield, pressures on, throws end zone. Oh, no! Adeleke had it in his arms, couldn't make the catch, and then as the ball was in the air, it was very nearly caught. There was a Bomber receiver down on the ground. Do you see any flags, Luke?
I don't. I think it was Dalton Schoen who was the intended receiver. Yeah, and he ran a double move, a little Oscar route, a 5-yard out route, and then posted it, but his feet just got tangled up. There's no penalty, but wow, Tunde Adeleke just unable to secure what would have been an easy interception for him.
And it was almost the old wrestling term, a double whammy there, as Agadosi almost dove and caught it after it bounced off Tunde.
Yeah.
That would have hurt even more. Castillo on for a field goal. Another short attempt, just 17 yards, and it's good. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers add to their lead. They're over 30 points now. It is a 32-4 lead for Winnipeg. Still lots of time remaining in this football game. 10:09 to go in the third quarter. We'll be back. Tiger Cats will get the ball. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Back in Winnipeg, the Blue Bombers leading the Tiger Cats 32-4. RJ Broadhead, Luke Tasker. It has been a Tiger Cats team that's been revamped, a lot of new players, and they are looking for that chemistry, trying to bring everything together. It all looks good in camp, and through the preseason, you don't have a lot of the starters in there, so we'll see. This is a short kick. And it's Jean Giroux who will take this. Maybe they were avoiding Lawrence Woods, but he'll take it just across the 30-yard line. Giroux joined the team just after training camp. Just practiced this week.
Yeah, not expecting to field the ball there,
no.
which he did cleanly, but you know, it's a good kick. And the Ticats had a left return, and Jean Giroux is just trying to make his way back to the play, which is left, and unfortunately to no gain.
Let's see if Bo can get this offense going. Tim White crosses in front, fakes a pitch to Butler, floats it up to Tim White, and it's incomplete. It floated too far. Tim White couldn't catch up to it, and they just have not been able to connect so far tonight.
Yeah, and that was sort of strange. They were setting up downfield blocks with the receivers, and Tim White on a little bubble pass to the right side, but it took a long time, right? Even if he would have caught that, that would have been a really strange looking play and just timing a little off.
So 2nd and 10, Tiger Cats on their own 32. Oh, Levi Mitchell, boy, it's getting loud in Winnipeg. They can sense it, and no Tiger Cats near the football. Dietrich Nichols had the best chance, and he probably should have intercepted it. He didn't. It's incomplete. Tiger Cats will have to punt.
Well, clearly Bo thought that Duke Williams in the slot to his left was going to bend that in front of the halfback's face. and he didn't. And that's an interesting, that's part of the storyline of this camp, right? Duke hasn't had as many chances to get in there and take reps with the team as he's been getting healthy through training camp, and it's sort of a sign of just, it's early miscommunication.
Bailey Flint punts the ball from his own 20. It's a really, really good kick. Sends Janarian Grant inside his own 20. Gets across the 30, and great special teams coverage. Well, you can't ask any more from Bailey Flint and the downfield tacklers. They keep the Bombers inside their own 35.
Well, we'll hear the call here.
It's a penalty. Well, we'll sort that out when we come back. It's 32-4. Bombers lead. Just over 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. This is the Ticats Audio Network. Tiger Cats having trouble getting much going in this football game. Scored a field goal on their very first possession, and they've only managed a single off a punt after that. The Bombers lead 32-4. Penalty added on after that great punt by Bailey Flint. So the Bombers starting pretty deep in their own zone, on their own 10. They're going to try to run this. Hard run by Oliveira straight into the front 7 of the Tiger Cats. He'll get maybe 3-4 yards.
Another thing the Bombers have done pretty well, that their first down average yard has been pretty great. They've been putting themselves in really favorable second down positions. And, if you had to call a winner of the line of scrimmage tonight, the Blue Bombers on both sides have really taken advantage.
Tough to find any weaknesses on the Blue Bombers on paper, and they've performed well on the field too. 2nd and 7 from their own 14. Caleros, that ball was tipped. It was intended for Rasheed Bailey. Somebody at the line of scrimmage got a hand on it, and Jagarrett Davis was back in coverage. We've seen that before from him.
Well, that was a great 2-and-out by the Ticats defense. And on that second, huge. That second down there, they brought a blitz from the field side, and they brought 6 in a zone, dropped into a zone coverage and executed perfectly. Zach had to get rid of the ball right now, and he didn't have an answer yet. That was a great job by Mark Washington's defense.
Lawrence Woods standing on about his own 38-yard line. So it's going to be good field position, and this
he blocked it.
They blocked it, and Bayless has it in the end zone. The Tiger Cats blocked it. It's a touchdown. How about that?
Wow, what a great turn of events.
Jamison Sheehan, just his second punt of the game. He was about on his goal line. They blocked it, and Omar Bayless, he's holding his shoulder, but he got the touchdown. So maybe that's the momentum swing the Tiger Cats needed. Carthel Flowers Lloyd. He was a menace in the preseason. He blocked that punt, and Bayless jumped on it in the end zone.
What a clean block, too. Just really well done. Bayless hurting from apparently from having fallen on the ball in a funny way, but going for 2 now.
Yeah, why not? Ticats touchdown presented by Terkstra Lumber. Bo Levi Mitchell, play action to Butler, rolls to his right under pressure. Willie Jefferson right there. It's picked off. It's picked off by Demarius Houston, and that's his 3rd takeaway of the game. Couple of interceptions and a fumble recovery. So Demario Houston has been all over the place, so no 2-point conversion for the Tiger Cats. They'll settle for 6.
Well, you capitalize. You get all that momentum from a great 2-and-out, and the special teams comes through great. You've got to get a little production from this Ticat offense.
It's 32-10. Still in the third quarter. 7:24 to go in the third. We'll be back on the Ticats Audio Network. Game 1 of the season. Seen some good, seen some bad. Bombers, they've been mostly good. 32-10, they lead the Tiger Cats. Special teams, a couple of really nice plays. Lawrence Woods, good return. Carthel Flowers Lloyd got a block. Omar Bayless turned it into a touchdown. On the kickoff, it'll bounce in front of Janarian Grant and go out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Hamilton number 47. Winnipeg elects to take the football as a first down.
So another penalty.
Another costly penalty there.
Haven't seen a lot of Seth Small since early in the game. kicked a 31-yard field goal. And on that kickoff, that penalty's costly. Winnipeg is going to start from their own 50.
You know, you probably have, on a kickoff, you probably have something of an average drive start around the 30, maybe the 35. And they're up there at their 50. That's a costly penalty. It really hurts.
Yes. 32-10. Here's a handoff to Oliveira, and he gets to the line, then a burst of speed. Close to halfway to the first down on that run.
Well, your defense is coming off a 2-and-out. You know, you can't forget that. And they're starting to stop this Blue Bomber offensive momentum that in the first half there was plenty of it. But if you can solidify right here on this 2nd and 6, you're starting to change the tone of the game a little bit.
Tiger Cats didn't allow many 100-yard rushers. Oliveira getting close. 93 yards. He has had a heavy workload in the second half. Caleros pump fake, and Edwards bid on it. Now Carney trying to close, and Caleros was under too much pressure. He got rid of the football. It's incomplete, but he did not take the sack. He is so creative when those defenders get in his face. He's deceptive.
Jameer Thurman on the blitz there and tracking down Caleros from the back and made contact right as he released the ball, and Andre Prue was this close to pulling a yellow flag there, but it stayed in his pocket.
So last time the Bombers were punting, it worked out for the Tiger Cats. Jamison Sheehan this time standing on his 40 and has plenty of time to get this kick away. It bounces at the 15, goes back up to the 20, and how about the Bombers getting out of the way of that? And Lawrence Woods then really didn't have anywhere to go. Got across the 25, and the Bombers brought him down. And even on that kick that came back into the punt coverage, the Bombers got out of the way and didn't take no yards.
Yeah, and Lawrence Woods was sort of expecting them to be in the halo, and they weren't. It was a good call. They were able to vacate that 5-yard radius. But pretty good, Sheehan, the punter for the Blue Bombers. It's a huge leg that he's got, and you can tell Lawrence Woods, he gives him a nice deep cushion each time.
5:45 to go in the third quarter. Bo Levi Mitchell fakes to Butler, throws to Tim White, and Tim White was behind the line of scrimmage, had to battle to get 2 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage, and there's a flag, and the Bombers are pointing at Hamilton.
Well, they're trying to get the ball in Tim White's hand, you know, to give your playmakers a chance. That's a holding, and they declined it, so it's 2nd and 10 as opposed to 1st and 15. But it takes so long to get the play going out there. You got receiver, that play is banking on receivers holding blocks for an extended period of time, and by the time Tim White got to the line of scrimmage, it's Adam Bighill standing right in front of him. Right? It's just it's a hard play to execute.
So 2nd and 10 for the Tiger Cats from their own 27. Bo Levi Mitchell wants to throw deep down the right side. He's got an open receiver. It's Tim White. He's across midfield down to the 50, battling to get to the 45, forced out of bounds by Evan Holm. But the biggest gain for the Tiger Cats in this second half by far. And now the Tiger Cats keep it rolling with an active Green and Ross first down.
Nice hard stop at the top of a corner bite route. And Tim White totally separates for a huge gain, and that's kind of what they've been waiting on all night, right?
Yes.
Is the ability for Bo Levi Mitchell to connect downfield and really well-placed ball.
They've tried it over and over. It finally works. Now into Winnipeg territory on the Bombers 46. Another play action. Steps up. Bo Levi Mitchell hits another open receiver. It's Duke Williams. He was running to his left and cuts to his right. Breaks another tackle. Duke Williams inside the 5. And finally, Holm brings him down. And now the chemistry seems to be clicking with the Tiger Cats offense.
Well, you can see that play develop right from the start. Duke Williams closest to Bo Levi Mitchell on the right side. He's number 3. And as that center zone vacates, he really just slightly bends in over the top of the undercoverage. Really well executed.
2 wide open Tiger Cats receivers on these last 2 plays, Tim White and Duke Williams. We haven't seen that hardly at all until now. Tiger Cats are in business on the Winnipeg 5. First and goal. It's a handoff to James Butler. Jumps to his right, then to his left. Oh, the ball's popped loose. He was down at the 1. The ball pops loose, and the Tiger Cats are saying they have it in the end zone. The official indicating that it's on the 1, but there's a battle in the end zone for this football. And they're trying to dig through to see who has it. Tiger Cats are holding their arms in the air in the touchdown motion. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown, and who has it? Joel Figueroa.
Hamilton, illegal procedure, no end. This is a 5-yard penalty. We're going to replay first down.
Joel Big Figgy will not get his touchdown.
Figueroa does not get it. Boy, it has been tough for the Tiger Cats. That would have been a real feel-good story, too. Have to be looking through the stats to see if he's ever got a touchdown. Highly unlikely.
Yeah, it's a good point. You never know. He has had a long career. Weird things happen, but that'll get called back, so he'll be back in the 5-yard line here. James Butler, unfortunately, that's second time he's dropped the football tonight in his first game as a Ticat.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Okay, so we're getting a review from the command center. We know Tiger Cats don't have challenges. They tried one early and did not early in the game and were unsuccessful. So what is being challenged here? Whether the James Butler was down?
Well, it wouldn't. The ball would, I guess, would be second down up at the 1-yard line if he was down. And I think it looks like the ball is out to me by the time his knee hits the ground. But of course, there's 1,000 bodies right around there. It's not going to be an easy one to overturn.
Yeah, so that is what the control center's looking at. Was James Butler down? It's probably the best scenario for the Tiger Cats because the ball would be at the 1-ish, maybe 1.5. 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Bombers still up big, 32-10. Tiger Cats in a really good spot here to put up more points. They'd love to get a touchdown, really dig into that Bombers lead. Right now it's a command center review. James Butler, he fumbled the football, but was he down? Andre Prue holding a right hand to his right ear, communicating with the command center.
I think they're also just verifying that if it was a fumble, if they can more accurately tell who came up with the ball or who was down with the ball, it would end up being a touchback if a Blue Bomber had recovered this in the end zone. I think
After review by the command center, we had an illegal procedure, no end, on the right side of Hamilton. This is a 5-yard penalty that will be applied from the previous line of scrimmage, and we're going to repeat first down.
So they were reviewing the penalty?
Well, I think that was the net sum of the call there. But effectively, I think what he's saying is that it was like it called it on the field. It was a fumble recovered by Hamilton, but the penalty stands. So here we go, first and 10 on the 10.
Yeah. So this has pushed Hamilton way back to the 10, but still a good spot. Bo Levi Mitchell going end zone. Touchdown, Tiger Cats. Tim White makes the catch, gets the touchdown, and the Tiger Cats are creeping closer in the second half. Bit of concern here, though. Tim White is down after making the touchdown reception.
Well, Evan Holm, the halfback for the Blue Bombers, was there at the end to try to break up the pass and make a tackle, which he did. It was a hard contact, and that's tough as a receiver as you're still trying to maintain the catch. It's hard to protect yourself, and he comes down hard on his right shoulder there.
Tim White gets his first touchdown of the season. Led the Tiger Cats in touchdowns last year. This Ticats touchdown presented by Terkstra Lumber. Tim White still down, though. He's down at the back of the end zone. And he was the leading receiver as far as receptions in the CFL last year. Targets, fourth in receiving yards. Bo Levi Mitchell and Tim White have really been working on chemistry. Looks like they're starting to get it here in the second half. But what is up with Tim White?
Yeah, it's like that hockey injury, that top of your shoulder just coming down so hard, all your body weight, and that AC joint there. I know it so well. I can still feel it right now, actually.
You got the phantom pain.
Hopefully his gets worked away quickly over the coming days here, but that's a hard one. There's a lot of body weight, his and Evan Holmes, coming down kind of right on his shoulder there. But the touchdown stands.
Touchdown is good. Tim White is heading off the field under his own power. His face doesn't look like he's in a lot of pain, but he is extremely fit and tough. We hope to see Tim White back after that touchdown. Seth Small steps up and they go for one, and it is good. Seth Small gets the convert, so the Tiger Cats have really chewed into this Bombers lead. It's 32-17 now. Things starting to get a little more interesting, still with 3:16 to go in the third quarter. Lots of time for the Tiger Cats, and you can just feel a difference here with this offense of Hamilton, that it's starting to click. Do they have enough time? That's the question.
Yeah, and just enough gas left in the tank to really commit to turning this around. But the back-to-back explosive pass plays to Tim White and Duke Williams was really encouraging. And it's so funny how when things go right, it just doesn't look that hard, right? Like Bo Levi just staying in the pocket, making a read and delivering the ball, and sort of the why not comes in. Like, why can't you just go do that again? And you know, it's a 12-man effort though, and that offensive line on those two plays gave the time and provided that pocket, and at times tonight that's been an issue as well.
Still over 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Janarian Grant takes the kickoff at his own 15. He's across the 20, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, and Carthel Flowers Lloyd in on that special teams tackle. But it's a good return, and a late flag flies right in front of that Blue Bombers sideline.
Well, the flag was way after the whistle. A lot of words being exchanged at the Blue Bombers sidelines.
Carthel Flowers Lloyd, objectionable conduct. So the 11th penalty for the Tiger Cats, over 100 yards in penalties. The Bombers have taken 2 penalties for 10 yards.
And you know, a lot of the penalties have been things like that. Objectionable conduct, some, you know, including the strange one on the punt formation with Tunde Adeleke. That's technically objectionable conduct. Just some weird stuff has happened. And that's one of the issues that has to be amended in the coming weeks.
Over 100 yards in penalties compared to 10. Here's a pitch to Rashid Bailey, and he weaves his way through the Hamilton defense, finally brought down by Tunde Adeleke, but what was already good starting field position turns even better after a first down on the first play. The Bombers are inside the Hamilton 35-yard line. They'll spot it on the 34.
The thing I like about that's a receiver in the run game there, but it wasn't a lot of lateral movement. He almost catches that little pitch on his waggle, like it's running forward, you know, and just happens quicker. He's up to the line of scrimmage right now.
Caleros, play action, and hits Dalton Schoen in stride, right in his hands, and he will get down inside the 20. It's another Bombers first down, and Caleros is back at it.
Good timing, and Dalton Schoen, really strong catch. Facing traffic there. Kenneth George Jr. just barely missing a chance to break that up or make a quick tackle.
Ball on the Hamilton 17-yard line. And it's another first down here for the Bombers. Just as the Tiger Cats were starting to get close, 32-17, the Bombers threatening now. Rashid Bailey has the football. Tiger Cats maybe not sure. A lot of people in the stands not sure who had the football. Bailey wound up with it, and he'll be down right near the Hamilton 5-yard line.
Has been a physical game as well. You know, I mean, we've seen even some chippy play after the talk. There's been flags flying everywhere, and unfortunately we've seen some Ticats, you know, have trouble making their way off the field at the end here, and it's hard to tell who this Ticat is. But another player needing assistance on the field.
Jonathan Kongbo, who was just acquired this week from BC. And he's up now, jogging off under his own power, albeit gingerly. So a first and goal here for the Bombers on the Hamilton 5. Tiger Cats, they'd love to create a turnover here. Can't allow the Bombers many more points. Another fake pitch, and then it's tossed over to Demski, who gets 2 or 3 yards, a little bit closer to that end zone.
Well, like normal, when you have the lead in this second half here, there's been a lot more of a running game from Winnipeg, right? Like, we haven't seen Zach Collaros stand back in the pocket as much as we did in the first half, and they've got kind of a really unique approach to the run game here. A lot of receivers involved and a lot of misdirection and motions, but for the most part to success. And that was a good stop there by Ted Laurent, but we've seen a lot of big yardage get taken up by this second half run game approach.
Tiger Cats have been really good when the Bombers get close to the end zone. They had a stop earlier in the game, 2 cracks at it from about the 1.5-yard line. Tiger Cats created the turnover. Oliveira this time from 2 yards out is not stopped. It's another touchdown for Winnipeg. Brady Oliveira gets his first of the season. Talked to some of the players, veteran players for the Tiger Cats this week, Luke, and they said Winnipeg's a momentum team. Just when you think you've got some momentum, they often come up with something big, and this is exactly what happened here. Tiger Cats, a couple of unanswered touchdowns, and here go the Bombers. They get one of their own and increase their lead.
Yeah, and they kind of rolled down, dominated the clock. You had the penalty to start that drive against the Ticats. They took advantage.
Castillo for the extra point, and you can't get any more down the middle. So it's good from Castillo, and the Tiger Cats now trail 39-17. There's only a quarter left. We'll be back with the fourth quarter on the Ticats Audio Network. Game 1 of the season in Winnipeg. 1 quarter to go. And the Blue Bombers lead 39-17. Blue Bombers will do this to a lot of teams this season. When they go to Winnipeg IG Field, it is difficult to walk in there and get a victory. In the last 3 seasons, only 2 teams in the regular season have won in Winnipeg. So it doesn't happen often. Tiger Cats starting to look a little more comfortable offensively. Lawrence Woods has looked comfortable all game and gets this ball in full flight. He was flying as he got across the 45, brought down at the 46 or 47-yard line, so decent field position for Bo Levi Mitchell to build off a touchdown on the last drive.
Yeah, Lawrence Woods has been a bright spot of this game. Their return game has produced a little bit and provided some good field position. And I think the offense is what we've all been waiting for. But they have come together a little bit here in the second half for some passing success.
Bo Levi Mitchell, that pass to Tim White for the touchdown. His first touchdown pass as a Tiger Cat. Delayed handoff here for James Butler, and he will do all he can to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard.
Yeah, a little draw up the middle there, but you know, the center of that defensive rush didn't really vacate with that draw the way that they expected to, and tough second down here to start the drive.
Looking for Tim White out there. I don't see him, Luke. 2nd and 9 from the Hamilton 49. Empty backfield. Bo Levi Mitchell passing, throws over the middle. It is incomplete. DeAndre Smith tried to grab it. That's the first incompletion thrown in his direction. And the Tiger Cats are going to have to punt.
Alden Darby in the breakup there, former Ticat, and back in Winnipeg for this 23 season. And you're right, Tim White. I'm guessing we probably won't see him again tonight.
Bailey Flint on to punt. Janarian Grant floats over to his 20, right at the numbers, goes straight ahead. And Stavros Katsantonis, he was the first man there. Tyler Turnowski, he's been great on special teams as well. He was down there helping out with the tackle. Tiger Cats trailing by 22 points with 13:46 to go. They have to stop this Winnipeg offense, and if nothing else, get the Tiger Cats offense on the field to create chemistry for next game. They've got to get something going before the end of this game. Some good feelings. Starting from their own 26. No surprise, it's a handoff to Oliveira. Casey Sales, the former Bomber and teammate of Oliveira's, makes the tackle.
We'll probably see the Blue Bombers stick to this run-heavy attack here throughout the fourth quarter, and you're right. If the Ticats offense can get a few drives back on this field, it's kind of like, you know, even if you can't recapture or close this gap, you can at least get some live reps,
yes,
get some rhythm, and put some stuff on film to talk about in this coming week.
Forget about the score, just
one at a time.
Yeah, get something going, and maybe good things will happen, but it might be preparing for next week. Down by 22 with under a quarter to go. Bombers are going to pass. Caleros throws to his right. Schoen reached up. It was a little far ahead of him, but he got a couple of fingers on it with one hand. Could not make the miraculous catch. And the Bombers will punt this football, so the Tiger Cats offense will have another chance to get cracking here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, good aggressive call, Mark Washington. He's giving fist bumps to his guys running off the field. They ran cover zero. You're back in the Blue Bomber way, and Caleros got the ball off, but not enough time to give an accurate throw.
Bombers punter Jamison Sheehan, the rookie. He had one blocked by Carthel Flowers Lloyd. That turned into a touchdown, and it'll bounce in front of Lawrence Woods. He touched it. He dropped it. The ball's loose. It's still loose. Diving on it is Stavros Katsantonis. He was desperate to get to that football and prevent another Tiger Cats turnover.
You could
and
see
he did.
it. You could see it right off the foot. There, Sheehan, the punter, I've been impressed with all night. That was a hard ball to field by Lawrence Woods. It had to bounce, and he had to pick it in traffic.
So the Bombers lead 39-17. Tiger Cats offense back on the field. We'll be right back, too, on the fourth quarter. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Back in Winnipeg, I can't wait for the Coach O Show with Luke Tasker this week on the Ticats Audio Network.
We'll have a lot to talk about, to go through.
Yep.
He is great, and he's gracious with his time, and it's a fun conversation. He is an interesting and smart football mind.
Well, you do a great job chatting with him. He is very candid with you, Luke. A lot of respect between the two of you. It's a great show on the Ticats Audio Network. Bo Levi Mitchell throwing deep, looking for Duke Williams. Evan Holm, he's been in the middle of things quite a few times. Knocked this one away. And he's limping, staying on his feet. Made so many good defensive plays, he doesn't want to leave the game.
Yeah, he has really been in great position. He just gets a hand on the ball there, pretty smooth. Hits the ground pretty hard, but man, he's been making some plays in the Winnipeg secondary.
That deep ball for the Tiger Cats is something they're going to be working on this week, getting prepared for Toronto. That's their next opponent on Father's Day. That'll be in Toronto. Bo Levi Mitchell, 2nd and 10 from their own 39, dumps it off to James Butler. It gets almost around the end, tried to turn it upfield, but won't be able to get the first down. So again, Tiger Cats next game on the road in Toronto on Sunday, so they've got some time to work on a few things. Argos have a bye in week 1, not the ideal time for a bye, but there no doubt will have some tape on the Tiger Cats, some video on the Tiger Cats, whereas you talked about it, these first games are so tough. No real video on the Argos yet. Janarian Grant on this Bailey Flint punt gets across the 30 to 35, carries the pack with him almost to the 40-yard line, finally brought down near the Winnipeg sideline. There's 11 minutes and 24 seconds to go in this game. The Blue Bombers lead 39-17. You're listening to the Ticats Audio Network. Happy to have you with us. Fourth quarter, 11:24 to go. Tiger Cats defense back on the field. Blue Bombers with a 22-point lead. Blue Bombers have looked like they're in playoff form. Tiger Cats, they've got a little bit to work on. 5 turnovers to 2. Tiger Cats have taken 101 yards in penalties. Bombers have just taken 10. Zach Collaros pedaling backwards, and he spots Brady Oliveira. It looked like there was going to be nothing there for Collaros. Adeleke takes a ride on the back of Oliveira, finally able to pull him down. Oliveira so strong, but he gets a massive gain and is inside the Hamilton 40, right near the 35-yard line.
Well, pressure has been working a little bit for the Ticats, and they brought it all right there, but Zach Collaros gives ground until Oliveira sneaks out of that protection and is standing by himself in the flat. Big chunk of yards there by a play that was really kind of just broken. It just was Zach Collaros being patient.
Bombers are on the Hamilton 36, so they're within range to put up more points. Already leading by 22.
Whoa.
Oh, the ball comes loose. The ball comes loose. The Tiger Cats get it. Chris Edwards has it, and he's got Carney and Jagera Davis protecting him. Chris Edwards, welcome to Hamilton. The fumble recovery for the touchdown. The defense digs into this. Bombers lead.
No flags, no nothing. That was an unbelievable one-man show right there. Chris Edwards was through the line of scrimmage immediately. It was actually Collaros pitching the ball laterally, and he almost intercepted it. He knocked it out of the air. I mean, he really was in perfect position right off the snap.
Ted Laurent.
Yeah, it was Ted Laurent, actually. Excuse me. Chris Edwards made the touchdown in a great play there, but Ted Laurent was in the backfield right away.
Ted is wanting to see better things and blasted through, created the turnover. Chris Edwards, nice fit in Hamilton. That's a good way to start for him. A touchdown, and the Tiger Cats hanging around here. Just under 10 minutes to go in the game. They're going to go for 2. Bo Levi Mitchell is out there. He'll step back to pass. Throwing deep to the back of the end zone. Duke Williams went up to try to grab it. Des Lawrence was there and knocked it away. Unsuccessful on the 2-point convert. The Chris Edwards defensive touchdown presented by Turkstra Lumber. So again, an unconverted touchdown here for the Tiger Cats. They need points. It's 39-23 with 9.5 minutes to go.
Well, it's a great spark. A defensive touchdown will change a game. Maybe a little bit too late in this one, but great effort by Chris Edwards. And I'm just shocked how quickly Ted Laurent was 4 yards into the backfield, breaking that pitch up. And it's not for nothing though. I mean, yes, there's quite a gap to overcome still. But you've got to get those plays on film, and you've got to be able to find some silver lining in the meetings this week and talk about some outstanding effort. And Ted Laurent and Chris Edwards together there, that was outstanding.
If the offense for the Tiger Cats can get going, Luke, they've managed one touchdown in this game. Bo Levi Mitchell to Tim White. But a special teams touchdown on a blocked punt. Omar Bayless jumped on it in the end zone, and here a defensive touchdown on that fumble, Chris Edwards. So they've had a touchdown from all three aspects, special teams, offense, and defense. Janarian Grant outside the numbers, cuts in, he lost the ball. It's up in the air, and Fraser Sopik, the linebacker, has it. Oh, he couldn't get to the end zone. He was tackled by Johnny Augustine, the backup running back, but he's down to the 1 or 2 yard line. RJ, another crazy play.
If they score a touchdown here, it's 30-39. And I'm sorry for saying that right now when they're sitting on the 3 yard line. Who knows what's about to happen, but holy smokes.
I didn't see who hit Janarian Grant, but that ball popped straight up in the air.
It's
Fraser
like somebody punted it.
Another new Tiger Cat, Sopik, almost took that to the end zone.
Wow. What an incredible effort on special teams and defense.
Tiger Cats fans, don't go anywhere. This crazy finish is straight ahead. There's still 9:18 to go. Tiger Cats are close. We'll take a quick break and be right back on the Ticats Audio Network. Back in Winnipeg, what a finish ahead. Just over 9 minutes to go. Kyle Wilson had a big hit on Janarian Grant, and Fraser Sopik, we thought he was going to take it into the end zone, brought down at the 2 yard line. Tiger Cats offense has to punch this in. Handoff goes to James Butler, keeps the feet moving. It is a touchdown. James Butler, his first as a Hamilton Tiger Cat, and it is game on in Winnipeg.
Wow. So you're gonna, it's a 2-point conversion scenario here, right?
It's 39-29 right now.
Yes. And so if you miss this, a 10-point is effectively just as good as 9, but you want to get to that 8-point difference there to make it one score. I mean, right before that previous turnover on the special teams that you were saying, you've got a special teams defensive and offensive touchdown, and you can almost accredit this touchdown to special teams, right? I mean, unbelievable to have that kind of production in a game that's looked really bad apart from those plays.
James Butler, the Ticats touchdown presented by Terkstra Lumber. Bo Levi Mitchell, 2-point conversion, successful. Duke Williams makes the catch just inside the goal line, and the Tiger Cats are within 8. And it's a little quieter in Winnipeg. This looked like, hey, easy street, sit in the lazy boy and enjoy this one, and all of a sudden, the Tiger Cats have made a game of this.
Well, it was 4-29 at halftime, and then it went to 4-32 after that. And I was a part of the greatest. I don't want to say these things out loud. I was a part of the greatest Ticat comeback in Edmonton when I played, and we didn't look half as ugly as this game has looked so far. This would be amazing.
There's been some down moments in this game, but how about this finish?
Unbelievable. What a play by this Ticat special team.
Yeah,
just
special teams, unreal on both sides.
Yeah.
Lawrence Woods returning. They've been great at tackling, blocking a punt for a touchdown. But this is what we were talking about, Luke. It was a huge lead for Winnipeg. Just go out, start getting some positive things happening, and they did. And now it's a one-score game. This was a 20-plus point lead, and then on the kickoff, again, Seth Small.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Hamilton number 47.
That's his second one.
Winnipeg elected to take the ball first down.
Yeah, that's the second in tonight. Seth Small, you and I talked about, and I was of the mindset that you can plug and play kickers, and Seth Small hasn't had a chance to be a part of camp, but it's a couple kickoffs there that are missed, and that's valuable yardage that's sacrificed.
An enormous amount of time. 8 minutes 45 seconds to go in the game. Tiger Cats have made it a one-score game. Defense has to stop the Bombers. Can't allow them to get any more. Collaros completes the pass. Dalton Schoen tackled immediately by Kenneth George Jr.
It's a good open field tackle there, and he comes up and takes out the space. You can't have a miss. Already you've got Zach Collaros and his offense on a very short field here to start. They just gained the center line there. These second downs are crucial with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left.
It was 32-4 at one point. A 28-point lead for the Bombers. Now it's just an 8-point lead. 2nd and 5 right at midfield. Collaros doesn't even take a step back. Completes the pass to Rashid Bailey. And they're going to say it's 3rd down. They're going to say he's short. He was right near the first down marker, and they're marking him short of the first down. This, I mean, it's short. Should be able to get it, but if they don't, Tiger Cats have good field position.
Yeah, right back to Kenneth George Jr. there, who again ran up to close that space and to make this a short 3rd down as opposed to a 1st down for Winnipeg.
Drew Brown comes in the short yardage. Interesting, they used Tyrell Pigrome from the 2 a couple of times, and the Tiger Cats stopped him, but Brown able to dart ahead and easily gets the 1st down and keeps this drive going for Winnipeg. Just over 7 minutes to go. The clock is running. We expected this to be a close game. It wasn't for a long time. It is now. Brown able to get the short yardage. Clock continues to run. Bombers will take as much of the clock as they can. There's 17 seconds on the play clock. Bombers casually getting to the line of scrimmage, getting set. Collaros holds his right hand in the air, taps his foot. 5 seconds, gets the snap, flips the pass to Bailey. Chris Edwards has him wrapped around the waist. Thurman there, and Richard Leonard comes in, and they bring Bailey down after a minimal gain.
That's a good swarm tackle there. It was interesting. I like the call and the decision. Clearly the Blue Bombers felt they were going to have a nice one-on-one out there, but collectively that field side of the Ticats defense took all the space away for a minimal gain.
So this will be a 2nd and 9, just 1 yard on that pass to Bailey.
Big play here.
Ball's on the Hamilton 48. 2nd and long for the Bombers. They're only up by 8 now with just under 6 minutes to go in the game. Collaros under pressure. He's scrambling. He's going to run with it. Mo Diallo gets him down. Now, he's a little bit short of the 1st down, isn't he, Luke?
Yeah, I don't think this is quarterback sneak territory, and you've got a 51-yard attempt if you want to try. And they're going to Sergio Castillo.
Would you think about a single here to make it a 2-score game?
Yeah, it's a good point as well. And, you know, you push this to 11. If Sergio makes this field goal here, an 11-point lead, I mean.
Castillo from 51 yards. He's made 3 tonight. 3 for 3. 51 yards. He's got the accuracy. He's got the distance. And that's a big kick for Castillo to get more points for Winnipeg. He's 4 for 4. Very consistent. And now it's 42-31 lead for Winnipeg. What a difference that field goal makes.
It is. That is big. And, you know, but you know what that comes down to? The Ticats defense was able to make some stops there. They were able to shut that drive down. You go back to the Seth Small kick out of bounds. That was costly, and you know that to start you put that opposing offense, you know, only 60 yards away from the end zone to start a drive, and Zach Collaros was, you know, they only had to eat up 20 of those to put themselves in that field goal range. Hard position for the Ticat defense, and they did a decent job at least. Now it's Bo Levi Mitchell's turn.
Bo in the game, 16 for 30, 168 yards passing, has a touchdown and a couple of interceptions. The ball gets snapped and the flags fly, and I think it's
procedure. Hamilton, number 64, 5-yard penalty. Will replay first down.
The Bombers defense is waving their arms in the air, wanting the crowd to get loud, and they were. And Coulter Woodmansey moved a little early. That pushes the Tiger Cats back to their own 35. It's a 1st and 15. Tiger Cats in the huddle. Close, where they can hear well. It's loud in Winnipeg as the Tiger Cats have made a big comeback in the second half. 1 point, they were down by 28 points. Down by 11 now. Caught by Tyler Turnowski, cutting up the middle, and he will get a gain of 7 or 8.
Great job. I love how Turnowski catches that and immediately turned north. He went right upfield, took the space he could get, and got to a really favorable second down position from what was 1st and 15.
Turnowski puts the Tiger Cats in a good spot here. 2nd and 3 from their own 47. Have to get some points. There's just under 4 minutes to go. Butler, he'll be close. He'll be close. Did he have the forward momentum? Yes. Yes, the official, the back indicating it is a first down. Presented by Active Green and Ross. The Tiger Cats keep it rolling.
Boy, just barely, too. I mean, the Blue Bombers were tough up front there, but really go back to that Turnowski catch for 12 yards on a 2nd and long, or a 1st down and long, and really, really great job keeping this thing going.
Ball now on the Hamilton 50. This will be the last play before the 3-minute warning. Levi Mitchell looks calm, steps back to pass, has time, completes it. Terry Godwin runs to his right, stops, and then gets pushed back. Looks like he'll have a gain of 6 or 7. That takes us down to 2 minutes and 49 seconds. A big second down coming up for the Tiger Cats. We're at the 3-minute warning. Tiger Cats have made a game of it late. Great finish ahead. Stick around. This is the Ticats Audio Network. 2:49 to go. 1 point in this game. It was 32-4 for Winnipeg. And it looked like they would just stomp the Tiger Cats in this game. Tiger Cats closed the gap to 8 points, made it a 1-score game. Bombers just got a 51-yard field goal to make it an 11-point lead. Tiger Cats now 2nd and 3 from the Winnipeg 53. And flags are flying. Somebody moved early. Let's see.
I think it was Coulter Woodmansey again.
Oh boy. These penalties, there's just been way too many for the Tiger Cats.
No call yet.
Legal procedure. Hamilton number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So that's 110 yards in penalties for the Tiger Cats. Winnipeg's taken 10. That is a big difference. Yet it's still close. 2nd and 8. Hamilton on their own 52. They need to convert here. Levi Mitchell throws over the middle. Duke Williams was down on the ground. Brandon Alexander in coverage, and a late flag comes out. So the ball was incomplete. It was intended for Duke, but a flag on the play.
Well, everybody was on the ground where the ball was targeted. We've got a Ticat down way in the backfield as well.
Defensive pass interference. Winnipeg number 35. The ball will be placed where the infraction occurred. Automatic 1st down.
I think it's maybe Kyle Saxelid down in the backfield for the Ticats.
I think it is. I saw a 9 and immediately was looking for 19. But I think it's number 69, Kyle Saxelid, which is a bit of a concern. It is Saxelid who's down. He was the only extra offensive lineman suiting up in the game for the Tiger Cats.
The pass interference, it was Brandon Alexander coming down for free safety, closing on Duke Williams' dig route from Levi Mitchell's right side, and just too much contact. Got their feet mixed up, just totally almost, collided in the middle of Duke Williams' route, and that's good news for the Ticats. That 1st down on the Winnipeg 45.
2 minutes.
Sorry, RJ.
Go ahead, Luke.
As we get to as we're moving into Winnipeg territory here, a field goal is an option here for you, right? So if you get in a tough second down,
deficit.
right? You get in a tough second down position here where it's 2nd and long, whatever. You do have a long field goal as an option, knowing that you have to get 11 total somehow.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Crowd getting loud. That's expected. Tiger Cats knew that. They worked on that all week in practice, had the crowd noise going. Bo Levi Mitchell has his Tiger Cats up to the Winnipeg 45. Willie Jefferson got his hands on it. Boy, he is good at knocking down passes. Knocks that one down. It's incomplete.
Man, when Willie Jefferson is coming free off of an edge, you can't even throw to that side of the field. He is visually occupying an entire half of your vision. You got 2 hands on the pass there.
Willie Jefferson, that's what he does. One of the best. Coming off the end, knocked that one down. So 2nd and 10. Tiger Cats on the Winnipeg 45. They're down by 11. There's 2:25 to go. Bo Levi Mitchell rolls to his right, throwing deep, has a receiver, and it was knocked away by Demario Houston. Terry Godwin was right there. The ball was right there. But Houston, who's had a big game, couple of picks, a fumble recovery, and now a huge knockdown on what would have been a touchdown.
So let's see. Seth Small is coming out on the field now. Boy, the timing was so close, getting another look at that. It almost looks like Terry Godwin's going to be able to pull that in, but it is a really well-timed breakup by Houston. This is not an easy field goal, RJ.
No.
This is all of 52.5 yards.
Let's see.
Matt Schultz will put his knee down at what would make a 52-yard field goal here.
52-yard attempt. Welcome back to the Tiger Cats, Seth Small, and the whistle goes. Small made the kick. It wasn't very good, but the whistle went before.
To the ball being snapped, timeout was called by Hamilton.
So it was strange setup here. Carthel Flowers Lloyd was actually motioning out of the field goal protection to the left side. Whatever, sometimes maybe it looks almost like a setting up for a onside kick of some sort, but well, I guess we'll never know, because looks like Bo Levi Mitchell's coming back out.
Yeah. Well, you said it, a 52-yarder. Seth Small, that's a tough.
That's right.
Tough kick.
And as the Ticats got that pass interference and they got to this 45, that was my point. You're just almost to that place there where you can make that decision, and apparently the Ticats are saying, no, it's a little too much right now, that 52 yards. They need a little bit more. This is big.
3rd and 10. Ball on the Winnipeg 45. They have to get this first down. Bo Levi Mitchell out there. He's flanked by James Butler, Felix Garangoche trying to protect him. The pressure's on. They got him. They got to Bo Levi Mitchell. Couldn't even get rid of the football. Bombers sacked him, and that will be that. The ball is turned over on downs, a 6th turnover in the game for the Tiger Cats.
Well, there's just so much. There's so many things to say. I mean, firstly, you can start with the call and the decision, and you know, if the field goal, if you don't feel like the 52-yarder is a good option and you want to go for it, you've got to solidify that protection. And what a rush by the Blue Bombers defensive front. You know, there was 2 minutes and 20 seconds at the start of that play. You also have a punt available too. You can try to pin that really deep and set this up, but knowing you still need 2 drives, right? But so many decisions to be made there, and that one did not come up the right way.
Well, that's one thing about football. There are probably 3 or 4 decisions on every play. This didn't work, and now the Blue Bombers keep the ball on the ground. We expect them to do that. Brady Oliveira puts a dent into the 10 yards with that carry of about 6. I'm going to say it's 5 yards, so 2nd and 5 here for the Blue Bombers. They're on the Hamilton side of center. What an interesting game 1 of the season. Too many penalties, too many turnovers for the Tiger Cats, some lack of chemistry. But then they were able to battle back, some good special teams, defensive plays, got them within a score. Oliveira dives ahead. He gets the first down. That'll keep the clock running and get the Blue Bombers a little deeper into Hamilton territory.
Yeah, and you can't afford too much of this. I mean, that's 5 followed by 7 there. Oliveira, you know, you can end the game that way, and you got to get really, really stout up front if you want to give Bo Levi Mitchell one more chance.
Ball up to the Hamilton 48. Brady Oliveira, over 100 yards rushing. Got just over 1,000 yards last season, 1,001. He gets the ball again. He is a workhorse. He's still going. Battles through the initial line, gets another 6 yards, it looks like. Minute 21 to go. 11-point lead. Lots of scoring in this game. Winnipeg 42, Hamilton 31. Ball now on the Hamilton 44. 2nd and 6 here for Zach Collaros and the Bombers. Just over a minute to go in the football game. Another handoff. Oliveira seemingly tireless. Over the 40. Needed to get to, looks like the 38, so he's going to be a little bit short. And what will the Bombers decide to do?
Interesting position here. I mean, you could send Sergio Castillo back out to try it again. This would be a 46, 47-yard attempt for him.
Just made a 51-yarder.
I'm guessing you're not going to attempt, looks like 3rd and 2. Collaros is staying on the field, which is surprising.
Well, will they try to draw Hamilton offside?
You got to think, you know, it seems like a senseless risk other than that, and you've got to be disciplined if you're Hamilton.
So officially 3rd and 2. Oh, they do snap it. It is a handoff. It is Oliveira, and he does get the first down. That's some confidence in your running back. Oliveira needed 2 yards, got more than that. So 33 seconds to go, and the Blue Bombers, fresh set of downs, they'll be able to run this one out now. It looked like we
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Confidence and execution.
32-4. That's the lead the Bombers had, and Tiger Cats made it close. Just too much of a deficit to overcome. And Blue Bombers take a knee. Collaros, and they'll do one more of those, and that'll be the football game. So the Tiger Cats, it's been difficult to win that season opener. They've had some tough places to play, though, in Winnipeg in 2 of the last 3 years. And the Tiger Cats, a lot of new faces. We saw some good plays. We saw some miscommunication, and plenty to work on heading into their next game Sunday, Father's Day, in Toronto against the Argos at 7 o'clock. But the Blue Bombers win here 42-31. Time now for the Access Storage recap of the game. Score a touchdown with affordable storage. Access Storage has flexible storage solutions at a store near you. Try 4 weeks free. Details at accessstorage.ca. So, Luke, a lot to unpack here. Your thoughts on the game? It looked like we weren't having much of a game, and then it got pretty exciting at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you've got touchdowns from your defense, from your special teams, and almost another you can give to the special teams, and that's really unusual. You know, the truth is, it's if you score on defense and special teams in the game, it's a tiny percentage that where you lose that game. Actually, you know, and that's a result of a real lack of rhythm and effectiveness offensively in the first game of the season here. To your point, it's been a tough first games of the season have just been tough for Ticats. In fact, in the last 18 seasons, they're 2-16 in the opening game of the year.
Yeah,
it's a pretty tough stat to get over. And I got to tell you, I was a part in a lot of those first games, and for some reason, it's sort of the Ticat way to dig yourself out of a hole. Unfortunately, Ticat fans would like it to not be that way. But, the fact that this game ended 31-42 is going to allow this coaching staff to at least go back and find some bright spots, certainly in the turnovers that they forced in the second half. Now, the turnover ratio in general, the Ticats were unfortunately gave the ball up quite a bit as well, but they forced a few of those with some really aggressive, attacking the ball in the tackle, and defensively, you're playing one of the best quarterbacks in the CFL, and arguably the best, and he had his successes, and you've got to get ready for this game in Toronto and tighten up a little bit of that pass rush and that pass defense. But the emphasis here is offensive for the Ticats. They've got to establish some rhythm with Bo Levi Mitchell and connect on those near misses with his receivers.
They'll have plenty of time to work on it. Next game is Sunday, Father's Day, June 18th, against Toronto, in Toronto at 7 o'clock. The home opener for the Tiger Cats is Friday, June 23rd, against Montreal, Tim Hortons Field. 7:30 is the start time there. So the Tiger Cats lose 42-31 to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. We'll hear from Coach O coming up on the postgame show. It is Tiger Cats postgame with Bubba O'Neill and Andy Fantuz. It's coming up next for Jake Varco, Michael Steyer, Luke Tasker. I'm RJ Broadhead. Thanks for listening to Hamilton Tiger Cats football on the Ticats Audio Network.
This is the Ticats Audio Network.